Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready. We are ready to rock. All right, it's that time. It's 6 p.m. or 6:02. Let me go ahead and get my camera on here. There we go. All right. All right. Welcome into the live. Welcome to the live stream. Welcome to Some Random Guy Speaks. I am your host, Tony Love, and we are about to kick it off. We're about to get started. Got Black Guy 9 in here, man. Black Guy 9 says, let's go, Tony and MAGA. I've been on vacation since last Thursday, enjoying your show. Like always, brother. Oh, yeah, man. That is great, man. You enjoying your vacation? That's what's up. Let me get my vacation out before this year is over. I promise you that. But I still promise to get the show on, though, Black Guy 9. So, yeah, man. Yeah, it went pretty good over there on, on the other channel, though. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it went pretty well over there. You know what I'm saying, and things. So, yeah, it was really good, Deontay and things. I wish I could have stayed longer, but, I had to get out here and make them donuts. I had to wait and make those donuts, man. So we're going to talk about it, though, This is going to be a topic here, man. This is going to be the one here, man, So, yeah, so we're going to go in and talk. Oops, that's the wrong one. Whoa, boy, I put the wrong one up. Hold on for a minute. Okay, put the wrong one up here. Let me remove that one. Okay, here we go. All right, this is the correct one here, So, yeah, man. So, as people start to come into the chat, into the live chat and so forth, But, yeah, we're going to go ahead on and about to kick it off here. So, let me go and center that a little bit. Get that over there. There we go. That's better. All right. So, yeah, that looks pretty good there. Yeah, I did. Okay. Yeah, it did. Deontay will eventually grow bigger. Yeah, he's got a good channel over there and things, though. So, yeah, I wanted to give him his respect and things. So, I can get going, man. I can go. But, yeah, it was cool, though. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the invitation and things, and he's welcome over here again many times over. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, here's the question. Why, right? Why the far, right? We're talking about why far progressive Democrats or Democratic Socialist policies are hurting America. And that is the question there, I'm sure that we can talk about some things, but we're talking about the far left, right? We're talking about the extreme left, the alt left, you know what I'm saying? Those people, you know. We kind of mentioned this before. I said, you know, we need to go ahead and talk about this particular party, why they losing in the midterms, why they're losing and turning people away in America. People just don't want to have anything to do with this far stream policies and things like that. But yeah, but we're going to go ahead and get into it as promised, man. So therefore, yeah, just we're going to try to make some kind of go in a little bit more in depth in it. So today, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be diving into something that has been a massive headache for Democrats. The rise, right, of the far progressive, straight up Democrat socialists inside their party, right? A lot of people call this the squad wing Bernie Sanders style, right? Or the full DSA, you know what I'm saying? It stands for Democrat Socialists, you know what I'm saying, of America influence, right? But I'm not here to scream at you, not today, not this time. But I'm just a regular dude, as you guys already know. That's why I call it some random guy, right? First, let's be clear, right? We're talking about these aren't your grandpa's Democrats, right? Who want it. Well, now, you know how I feel about that. Your grandpa's Democrats, you know what I'm saying? But the wages and the safer factories. But these were the things, ladies and gentlemen, why people gravitated towards the Democrats. They had to basically change some of their tactics, it's like I call it. Not really policies, but tactics to hook people in, because we got to keep in mind, it's about a bait and switch that I have always mentioned about the Democratic Party, right? They have things and stuff that makes sense to a degree. It's just more of, you know, just kind of being appealing, right? The party of acceptance, the party of love. We heard that many of times, right? And we're seeing the opposite, right? And things like that. So these are far left practices that want to fundamentally make America bigger government. Remember, I put the matrix up and I showed you guys, right? Also, we're talking about more control, right? This is basically what it is. And a whole lot of identity politics mixed in. They've been playing identity politics. It happened with Obama. They tried to do it with the Gamala, right? They really did, though, you know. And they were successful, unfortunately, with Obama, right? Because when he was in the White House, right, he was like the darling, right? He was like this Messiah type figure, you know what I'm saying? So neither side couldn't attack him because they were saying, well, you know, that'd be racist and all this other kind of stuff. You know, blacks, whites, and the other voted for Obama, but we ain't going to get into that right now. We're going to talk about some of the things that the actual Democrat socialists, you know, and what they've been pushing, right? So we're talking about the big economy plans, right? Number one, we're talking about Medicare for all. Sounds nice. Free health care for everyone. No co-pays, no private insurance, right? But we're talking trillions of dollars, right? They want to basically nationalize health care under Biden. We were already spent insane money on health care expansions, right? But the far left wants to go, what is that? Go all the way, right? We're talking about, there's a problem with a question mark. Most working people I know like their current insurance through their job. They don't want long wait times like some other countries like Canada, right? Next, we're going to talk about that. So before we even go any further, before I go any further here, I just wanted to kind of highlight a little bit about that what do we call it, Affordable Care Act, which is Obamacare, because they said that we can keep our primary, we have choices. Remember when they took that stuff away? So here it is, ladies and gentlemen. They took the choices away, right? And then they said, well, we have one healthcare system that rules them all, right? If you didn't, if you wasn't on it or couldn't afford it, you were penalized. I know I was penalized like $400. I remember that, right? So the things that the Dems, in this case, this is more of the far left, right? The Democratic Socialists, right? They have these policies that come appealing. We care so much about people. We are the party of less resistance, you know? We are the party of love. We are the party of acceptance. You know what I'm saying, though, right? Until they get mad and get violent, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so this is basically what it is, though, you know, regards to that. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, so we're just kind of going down there to the Democrat Socialist policies and things like that. We're talking about the new Green Deal, which is a new green con, right? Because not just clean energy, they want to ban fossil fuels basically overnight, create union jobs and green stuff, right? We're talking about with the Paris Climate Act. All this stuff is a scam and a sham, right? Because when you really think about it, we cannot operate off of solar or tidal, which is wind. I mean, the windmills and things like that, you know, because whether you may or may not know this, but those particular products like solar panels, right, and windmills, all that is manufactured where? It's over there manufactured in China. China makes this stuff. And then they send it to Germany, right? Germany destroyed their, you know, power plant, right, basically. So now this was the plan, because they were going to do this in Europe, just like they wanted to do it in America, to have us to be dependent on this alternative energy scam thing, where they pocket, was it millions and billions, you know what I'm saying, in regards to this case. It was just a scam, right? It was about controlling. Remember when that, what was it, the EPA and all the rest of that stuff with the, we're talking about the electric vehicles, right? They pushed this, ladies and gentlemen. They pushed it. It was a mandate. They said we got to get rid of all of fossil fuel in the vehicles by, was it 2035 or something like that? You guys remember that, man. It was just crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? So these are some of the things, ladies and gentlemen, that we're going to be talking about. What about tied into fighting systematic racism in 2026 with energy prices still painful, right, for regular families? People are asking, why are we paying more for gas and electricity while China builds coal plants like crazy? China has coal plants over there, right? Because as much as manufacturing that they do, especially in Shanghai and some of these other places, they are huge, right? With these manufacturing plants. There's no way in the world that that can be done through solar panels and windmills. It don't make any sense. But they were pushing China to be the new superpower. According to the parasitical elite class, America was not going to be this superpower anymore. It was going to be China. China was supposed to be the new superpower. So there that is. So free college. You guys remember this? Bernie Sanders stuff, free college, student debt cancellations, right? Universal basic income experiments, right? And massive wealth taxes on the rich, right? People and corporations. They've been pushing this stuff. The idea is to redistribute everything. Democratic Socialists talk openly about public ownership of major industries like energy, housing, and pharma, right? That's not capitalism. It's a guardrail. What's a guardrails anymore? That's moving towards socialism, right? We already know it, right? Because these are the things. You hear them attacking capitalism, right? They're saying that the corporations are not paying their fair share, which they actually pay more in taxes than we do, which is a fact, because they also create a lot of jobs and things too. So the job creation that a lot of these corporations that actually create, because big government was never supposed to be the big factor in creating jobs anyway. They're supposed to be a little factor. We can withstand knocking government down to about 30%. We don't need big government, because big government means more spending. And when you have more spending, you have more inflation. And when you have more inflation, it creates other problems. Because as you can see, right, the Uniparty have been living high off the hog, right? We're talking about Republicans, which is the rhinos specifically, because they've been in power longer, along with the Democrats, right? And this is how they ended up becoming so rich. A lot of these people are millionaires, right? Many times over. Because what have they been doing? They have been taking the taxpayers' money, putting it into these old BS NGO programs and slush funds and enriching themselves, right? This is stuff that we should be talking about more, right? And while the elections is coming up, I'm talking about the midterms, I'm actually going to be hammering this even more for people as a reminder, because, you know, people tend to forget about some things. Therefore, you look to people like myself, where we actually going to talk about and highlight some things as to what they have been doing over here on the far left. Is something else, right? So what about segment number 2 when we talk about crime, immigration, and culture, right? Then you got social stuff that's really turned people off, right? Defunding defunding the police, right? Or what else? Re-imaging policing, right? After 2020, that was a big one. We saw crime spikes, right, in a bunch of cities run by these progressive ideas. Working class neighborhoods, especially Black and Hispanic ones, right, suffered the most. Now, even some of the Democrats are quietly walking that back, you know, but the damage to trust is done. We don't trust the DMs anyway, right? Because we've seen what happened. Remember the George Floyd, you know what I'm saying, and all that type of stuff that went down, BLM and all that, defund the police. They were chanting about it. You heard Maxine Wicked West Waters talk about this type of stuff, right? Because the defunding, had that would have occurred, it would have been like The Purge. You ever saw that movie called The Purge? And that's exactly what they were really trying to create, these sanctuary cities. Think of the sanctuary cities as a purge, right? In fact, we're going to talk about this. We're going to bang on this for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to be talking about The Purge. Anybody that watched the movie called The Purge, they had it written in the Constitution, right? Where it's once a year, and it happened on a specific date. I believe it was July the 4th, right, of our independence, where in that particular time, as soon as it strikes midnight, it's 24 hours, you can go out and do anything you want when it comes down to crime, violence, murder, rape, all this stuff. You can do any of this stuff within the 24 hours time span, right? It's kind of sounding like The Purge to me, had these leftists get in here, right? Because they want to get rid of the police. Defund the police really means get rid of the police, so we can have total anarchy out here in the street. And that's what it was. We saw a glimpse of it with BLM, Summer of Love, all the rest of this nonsense, right? And this is the reason why. They don't respect. They're being paid to go out here and agitate, right? We ain't talking about no peaceful demonstration. This is more like an insurgency. We're seeing it right now, right? And this is what The Purge remind me of, right? If anybody's seen that movie and things, and it's a very, very good movie. I wish I could be able to play it. You know, I'm going to have to do that in the member section. So we got, there's 2 things we're going to have to play in the member section. It's going to be Civil War and then Purge, you know what I'm saying? So I think those would be good, and therefore we can all sit around and talk about it when I can get some time off. But this is basically what it is, ladies and gentlemen. We're looking at a modern day, right, purge out of the movies. Remember I said before, art imitates life, right? And that's what we're seeing right now. This is exactly what we're seeing, right? This party is about to implode any minute now because of their out of touch with the people's policies. They don't help anybody. Just look at the Black and brown community, right? They have created ghettos. They have overspent money. They have tried to defund the police and everything like that. All this other things, though, you know, having all these agitators out here, right? You got this civil arrest. All this stuff is going down under their policies and watch, man. Straight like that. You guys remember watching The Purge and stuff like that. So The Purge is a very, very good movie, man. It really is. And things, and I appreciate you guys that's hanging out and things. I know I'm up against some other big hitter channels and things like that, but like it is, I said I wanted to talk about something different, and we need to start addressing, right, more of the Democratic Socialist policies that they've been trying to hoodwink and bamboozle on the people. So what about the open borders approach, right? Decriminalizing legal crossings, right? Sanctuary cities, fighting voter ID, right? This is another one, ladies and gentlemen. So let's go in and walk it back a little bit. So we're talking about decriminalizing legal crossings, right? So they want the illegals over here, legal aliens. We should have no borders, right? And that's what ended up happening under the Biden administration. 15 to 25 million plus illegal aliens entered into our country, right? And look what ended up happening. This is what drove up the inflation once again, because no country can sustain, right? We can't sustain illegals in our country. They weren't vetted. No remain in Mexico. They said, come on in. Come on in. You guys are good. Yeah, we shouldn't have no borders. They were talking all this nonsense. Never thought about how they were going to pay this stuff, right? And then we started seeing more crime, an influx of crime, right? As well as the inflation, right? Job scarcity was starting to happen because they were taking over everything. In fact, they were actually, the American people were actually leapfrogged or, basically right over to these illegals, man. Set them up with these government set-asides and things like that. So we're bringing up the history under this Democrat Socialist programs in sanctuary cities. I want you guys to really remember all of this, because when the midterms come up, it should be pretty clear as to who to vote for, flat out like that. A lot of illegal migration, right, and minority communities are saying enough. The black community, the brown community, they were being overran by these illegal aliens, right, that should not be in the country in the first place. Not illegally. You have to go through a vetting process. You have to be sworn in. You have to go through the right thing. It goes against our Constitution, right? This is another thing that these Democrat socialists do not believe in a Constitution. They really hate it. They want to get rid of it, right? What else they did? They came here illegally. Play by the rules, right? So they came here legally and played by the rules. Now we can see the chaos of the borders hurting wages and services, right? This is the thing, right? Now, don't get me started with the culture side, the gender stuff in schools. Men and women in sports, heavy DEI, right? Everywhere. And making everything about identity oppression. Regular parents just want their kids, right, to learn math, reading, and no ideologies. None of this type of gender stuff, right? We were fine, right? But we know that this stuff started creeping in, seeping in, and look what ended up happening, right? You got people that really believe more than one genders. They'll try to argue it down instead of, dealing with biology. We were all clear on this at one time. And like I said, this actually started under Obama, right? After was it 2022, when he signed that into law with the same-sex marriages and all that. There was a whole host of things that they came in under that. Like I said before, the LGBTQ community was just doing just fine in their own communities, right? But Obama weaponized them, especially transgender. He weaponized this particular people, right? And pushed them out forward, right? And then we got all this crap now. They took away our constitutional rights. They pushed these mandates and these binary, and I never studied them because it was unconstitutional. It's like see us in court because you can't force something onto the people. But with the progressives, they have a history of doing this type of stuff, right? Since they've been coming in, we're going to get down to it, though, too. Just stick around because it's about to heat up a little bit. It's about to get bumpy, you know what I'm saying? So here it is. The big picture, folks. These far progressive policies sound great on college campuses and in expensive coastal cities. But out here in the real America, factories, small towns, suburbs, they feel completely out of touch, right? The focus on rich people's problems and symbolic fights while ignoring grocery prices, rent, and keeping a job. And these things were what people was really concerned with, especially under the Biden administration, right? Because this is one of the periods in time that I'm referring to, and what has happened and what have these sanctuary cities and so forth and what the damage they have done to this country, right? With their far left, whacked out, out of touch. It doesn't relate to real people, right? At all. They lecture working class voters instead of listening to them, right? And with the left, or in this case, the far left, never listened to their constituents at all. It was like game on. They have turned their whole party against them. There are infighting in the Democratic Party right now, you know? There are civil wars that are going on when you don't see behind the cameras. It's pretty obvious that is, right? Because you have a younger, what they want to call themselves, hipper, like AOC, right? You got, what's his Mondummy and all the rest of them, right? You got Cory Booker. You got these other supposed to be hot shots, right? But they are the ones responsible of tearing up this country, right? Because of these whacked out of touch. Nobody can understand their particular policies, or they don't want to understand, because we know it doesn't work nowhere. Nowhere in the world have any of this Marxist, socialist, communist BS. It never worked anywhere, right? Now, look, and then let me go a little bit further here, right? They bet the whole party on young, as I mentioned, and college-educated progressives, right? And basically wrote off the working class, which they did, because you have a lot of Democrat, especially Democrat socialists. They have been, let's say, brainwashed from K-12 and college, right? They automatically think they're smarter than us, right? They think they know better. And some of these people that you see running in politics now, some of them have a trust fund account, like Mondummy. He never had a job before. Mondummy, this is the first job he ever did. If you try to look up what he did before, nobody knows, because he didn't work. He didn't have to, right? So these are my perfect examples of these particular people, right? Look at the election results in 2024 and 26, right? Right? So Democrats homogenized support from the Hispanics, black men, young men, and working people. You guys remember this? They have totally, right? I mean, they just totally homogenized their whole group. They removed the men. They forgot about the men. And then they tried to backtrack. Y'all remember that with Kamala? Y'all remember when she was trying to backtrack and try to have what a real man and all the rest of the stuff? It was already too late. It was phony as a $3 bill, man. You guys remember that? Remember that? Oh, my goodness. So the question would be why, right? Because promising free stuff and cultural revolution doesn't pay the bills. When inflation wipes wage gain in cities felt unsafe, and that's exactly what it is, right? It's the modern day purge in these sanctuary cities. Y'all remember Aurora, Colorado, when they had Trende Alagra? They were running things over there in that town over there in Aurora, Colorado. Man, that was one of the worst things. I thought about The Purge, the movie, right away, right? It was like law enforcement was told to stand down. These are their foot soldiers too. I just want you guys to know it, man. Some of these people in these far leftist, whacked out group, right? And the puppet masters that's behind it. These are their foot soldiers. They were designed to do this. They did it in Chicago too. You know, Deontay is from Chicago. He knows what I'm talking about, right? They did this over there in Chicago, right? They did this in these other sanctuary cities, right? And it's like the modern day purge, man. I kid you not. And they done this stuff. These are their foot soldiers and things, I tell you. And this is one of the main reasons why they don't want the American Save Act to be passed, right? Because regular American people that love America, right? I'm talking about the real people. You know, we're conservative. Some of you guys are conservative. You just can't be liberal on everything. Being liberal on everything just does not make any sense when it comes down to safety, right? And a lot of other things, right? Man, I tell you. But here it is, though. So we're talking about it right here. So the moderate Democrats are stuck. They push back against the far left, but they get called racist or sellouts by their own base. This is what's going on right now, ladies and gentlemen. This is the reason why. You got your old school Nancy Pelosi, Maxine Wicked West Waters, right? You have Polka Dot, Pocahontas Warren, Chuck Schumer. All these are your old guards, Democrats, right? We already know where these guys stand, but we're talking about these like AOC, which Bernie brought him in because Bernie is a socialist, Marxist, communist. He loves this type of stuff. But he brought this new, supposed to be a hotshot generation right into the Democrat Party, which is forcing them out. The old guards are being pushed out. There's new blood that's coming in right now. And look where the country, if they get in power, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, it ain't going to be the America that you're going to remember anymore. I'm telling you, that's why we're pushing back. That's why I wear the hat for a lot of reasons. It's a direct, right, counterinsurgency to the madness that's going on out there with these Democrat socialists, right? I want them to be aware of as to why I wear the hat, why I vote for Trump, and why we are the counterinsurgency. We are pushing back against this so-called manufacturing insurgency, and that's exactly what it is. So if they go along with it, they lose their country, right? That's why they're favorable to keep tanking. And this is exactly what it is. This is what it is. So I suggest that you Dems, if you're a Democrat, you know yourself, you know damn well, right? I don't care if you're a Democrat. The point I'm trying to make is that your far left Democrats that you don't recognize, they are the ones that are trying to destroy America. And they're going to do that if you are too afraid to push against your party. I've already been called a sellout. What name's going to hurt you? This is about saving the country. Their policies does not jive. It does not assimilate into American culture and society. It doesn't gel up with, even if you look at it as a religious aspect. Most of the majority of people in this country are still Christian, whether you want to accept it or not. It's just how it is, right? So we know for history this works. This other stuff, this Islam stuff, they want to call you Islamic phobic, whatever. I'm okay with it, if that's what it is, because we have not seen, right, a positive example coming from the far left. So I suggest that you Democrats start waking on up. You may as well just go ahead and join on and vote with us. One thing about it, we are not the ones out here trying to throw you in jail and prison. We are not the ones that's out here trying to take your censorship and your rights away and your guns away. But the far alt-left is trying to do this. And you know this, you know what I'm saying? I'm just reaching out with you, just really just saying, hey, you're going to have to make a decision on this wicked party that you don't even recognize, right? Look at this stuff, man. Now, I'm not saying that every progressive is evil. That's not what I'm saying. Wanting cleaner energy and better healthcare access isn't crazy. I get it. But you have to go full socialist. But that's the thing about it. You want massive government control, open borders, defund the police, wealth distribution on steroids. You lose the normal working people who uses this as a backbone, right? Which is the far left Democrat Party, because that's what we may as well call it. It ain't necessarily the Democrat Party no more. It's the far left, or the Democrat Socialists, right? Because as I just mentioned, these are the things: censorship, coming for your guns, defund the police, big government, right? This is a huge problem. In history, for some of you history buffs, have the socialists, right, have this program, right? Marxism, communism, has it worked anywhere in the world? And the answer is, I have not seen it work anywhere successfully, because we're talking about a centralized government, big government, no type of capitalism. If I had an idea, I should have a right to create a business, but the government has a right to overreach and say, hey, Tony, you can't do what you're doing. No, because you guys should have thought that better in New York. Y'all put Mondummy in there. You never asked the questions. How was he going to pay for this stuff? How was he going to have the free riding on the bus for free? How was he going to be able to have this state-funded supermarkets, right? How was he going to offer you $30 an hour? You know, you guys never asked the question in New York, and I'm talking to the New Yorkers right now, because it's you guys' fault. Reason why you have my dummy in there at all. Yeah, he got the $250 million, but he's gonna go through that just like butter, man. Because you can't have that type of spending, right? And he's going to be back in the same situation. It's about to fail. It's already failed. It's going to fail. You know? What's that? Kathy Hochul, the governor up there. He gave him the money, right? And we already know what's going to end up happening. The guy never had his metals tested. He just sound good for people because he was supposed to be the bright hope, right? Talking about my dummy, right? He was supposed to be the bright hope against who? Trump. I hate him. But this guy here, he can show more promise. My dummy can show more promise. I call him my dummy because his policies it doesn't make any sense. It's just dumb and stupid. You know? You have capitalism, you have business, which is off of the backbone, right, of the American society, as well as the world in that particular case. It's big business that problem solve ideas that make it better for people. So therefore, government don't have to worry about it. If there's more overreaching government have to worry about it, you can expect for other problems to happen. Government saying this, we will give these businesses a tax incentive for curing and solving the problem of hiring people in the companies, right? So therefore, the government doesn't have to do it, right? But if you leave it up to people like my dummy that never understand business and economics one-on-one, he's going to, all this free stuff. Oh, it's so good. Oh, it just sounds great, And no one asks, how you going to fund it? Where you going to get the money from? And here he is begging them for the money. Hold on, man, dummy. You had it all figured out. Why you over here begging people and begging them, you need some money? And that's the thing about it. Look what ended up happening. And that money that she gave, that was off of taxpayers in New York. They got problems already. Man, things in New York is about to skyrocket up. You know what I'm saying? The tax and all the rest of it has to. Right? Look at all the big businesses leaving. You say, okay, you don't want capitalism no more? I'll be the same way. Okay, my corporation. Oh, okay, sorry about that. Oh, okay, let me go ahead on and pack my stuff up. I'm going to go ahead and shut my business down. For those employees that want to transfer out of New York, hey, I'm going to move my place over to South Carolina. I'm going to move it over to Ohio, further down in the red state. Therefore, we don't have to worry about this type of stuff. Same thing they did in California. Tesla, Apple pulling out all these. They went right over there to Austin, right? They moved right over there and set their plants up, set their companies up. Look at Starbucks leaving Seattle. They're going to go over there to Texas too. Can't you guys see? You're seeing a history of failure coming from the far left because they're not qualified to run nothing, right? They're just with their feelings in their mouth. But we know what it is, totalitarian control. That's the overlay for the underplay, man. Oh, my goodness. Boy, that's what I say. So is it a trap? Absolutely. That's the trap, right? They're in right now. The far progressive tail is wagging the dog, and the dog is losing elections. Isn't that what's happening now, ladies and gentlemen? They are losing elections, right? They have created this hell for themselves, and I love it. Because this is the only way, and people are seeing it, right? I know people, this is one of the things, you notice when people don't even call themselves Democrat no more, they call themselves moderate. You know what I'm saying? They play down the middle because they don't recognize that party no more. And one thing I got to say again, I'm ashamed of you hardcore Democrats because you won't call out this ludicrous party that you calling, not Luda, but ludicrous party that you call Democrats. They are far left Democrats, socialists, and you know it. You don't relate to that stuff. You know what I'm saying? You won't even have a country. Kamala Harris is a Democrat socialist. Her parents were. They hated, I should say were, what, or is. They hated America, right? You know what I'm saying? They did. They hated America. I don't know which one is in the land of living, to be honest. But, you know what I'm saying? It's obvious because these people, Karen Bass, she's also a Democrat socialist. Look at how she ran L.A., right? Oh, my goodness, man. Are you kidding me? Oh, man. No wonder. I mean, it's, oh, man. Do we have to go and be reminded of that? You know, she hired these so-called chief of police and all them. These were DEI women. When the fire started happening for real, they didn't know what to do. They had to get real people that were qualified, right? Is this hot? I'm talking about the Dems again. You guys got to stand up and stop being a coward to your own party. This is crazy, right? Look, both parties, right? Look at this. I'm just going to say this. Right now, I'm going to say this. And when we talk about the Dems, we talk about rhinos as well. They are nothing more than Democrats in disguise. They're basically Decepticons, right? More than meets the eye, right? But right now, the Democrats' biggest problem is that they move too far, too many times, too fast. And that's what ended up happening. It turned the people of this country off. If you guys truly had the narrative on the far left, you should be winning by your own logic. But you cannot win because you're having troubles trying to convince the people, right, that the Republicans and Trump is the problem. Look at the history with Trump, look at his wins, and look at yours, right? So that's what I'm saying. You Dems, you got to wake up about, because these far leftists is destroying your party, man. And that sooner or later, you're going to have to deal with this problem. You may not even have a party no more, because this is how far people are turned off with your outer reach, push so far to the left. You go to bat for these illegal criminals, protecting them. It turned a lot of Americans off. It's going to keep it real. And I'm going to keep drumming and banging on these particular topics like this all the way to the midterms, because my job is to keep it fresh in the people's head in regards to this far left, this alt-left so-called Democratic Party, because it's so unrecognizable. We just may as well call it just socialism, Marxism, and soon to be communism, man. Ain't that something, boy? So yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, so as we talking about it, let me know what you think. Have these policies affected you and your family coming from the far left? You know, you can drop me a comment below as well, you know what I'm saying? But working people like black, white, and Hispanic and so forth, right? But when they come down to the bottom line, hopefully all this that I'm saying makes sense. It has to be at some point, right? And again, I want to give the Democrats as some advice, right? Your party is on the verge of collapsing, right? Which it is. Because not saying you personally, but there was people in your party in leadership that have allowed these far left whack jobs out of touch, pushing extremism, right? And all the rest of it go with it. It's basically have destroyed your party. It's not destroying, it has destroyed your party. And that's why many of you don't even identify for being Democrat. You call yourself a moderate. But we know on the inside you're still a Democrat, but you're too coward, some of you, and you're too coward to challenge your party. You know, one thing about being a Republican, you know, we ain't afraid if there's something that we don't like, we'll let them know. But you guys, y'all just stay lockstep with each other, act like all this stuff is cool. All right, I'm going to ask these Democrats, old school Democrats. Hey, old school Democrats, grandpas, grandmas, are y'all okay with the mutilation of children and their sexes being changed? Are you guys okay for women to be, or I should say men in women's bathrooms, because that's what they are. Ain't no transgender male. It's a man in a woman's bathroom. You know damn well that you're not. And just go ahead and talk about it, right? Because if you're okay with that, I don't recognize you as a human being. And I got to say that, right? I don't recognize you as a human being. If you could stand for the child mutilization, right? That means that's telling a lot about you. And I haven't seen any of these Dems, even the ones that come in here, even with my detractors and so forth, they never call this stuff out. They always want to compare apples and oranges or move the goalposts, right? Or crash out over some stuff that they don't know damn well is not logically sound. It makes no common sense at all, right? And this is exactly what it is. That's why I call them out on their bull crap, right? And they're too cowardly to go against their party on this stuff that knowing damn well people ain't for this. You can't sit up here and say that you are. Because if you are, then that means you're far whacked out more so. I mean, it really is, though. This is where we are, ladies and gentlemen. Boy, I tell you, man. It's just really backed up. It's sad and bad that this type of facts and policies that they created this type of stuff, ladies and gentlemen. They created. And the far left, man, they have to be stopped. They are a real bad, not parasite, it's even worse than this. They are a cancer on America. I think I like that heading. The far left is a modern day cancer that steady spreading, turning red blood cells to white blood cells, right? This is what they're doing. And a massive amount. This is what they're doing, ladies and gentlemen, right? Now, they want to look at this here. We're talking about crazy inflation. When Biden was in there, right? We're talking about groceries, gas, rent, right? All this stuff was going on. It was up to 9% regards to inflation. Boy, I tell you, man. This is, ladies and gentlemen, this is basically what it is. We're talking about Democrats have gotten so used to culture war stuff, right? We're talking about pronouns, once again, defunding the police, critical race theory in schools, men and women's sports, while people are worried about paying their rent and keeping their kids safe. This is the problem, man. These are deplorables, man. That's what I call them, waiting for the borders to be open, want to have in more lunatics and murderers and rapists and all the rest of this stuff. All this stuff is what they did. I mean, look at it now. The schools, not wanting boys in their daughters and locker rooms on. This is the stuff here, man. They're pushing for all this stuff, man. It really is. They're pushing for total collapse of the American society, man. And this is why I do great pushback against them, because I know they don't have nothing. The far left don't have anything for me. All they can do is talk about Trump. Their policies are garbage, and they know it. That's one of the reasons why they don't come up here to debate this stuff, because there's nothing to debate about. They'll hate from the sidelines or throw slick disses and other stuff, but they know they can't defeat because they cowards. The real men and women should be standing up against the far left. We're talking about the alt left, right? This is the party. This is why American Democrats and so forth are turned off on your party. The damage is so far gone now, it's too late to turn back in regards to that. You're either going to have to stand up like men and women and fight this thing, because you guys don't have anything dealing with these, trying to protect AOC. What can she do? A waitress? They got these socialist, Marxist, communist ideas. You absolutely think her or Kamala, you actually absolutely, that's why I put that meme up, Dumb and Dumber Part 3, in the White House, because that's what you're going to be doing. Can y'all imagine? I would hate to see it. If AOC is the president and Cammie is the vice president, it'd be Dumb and Dumber Part 3. Oh my goodness, boy. Ooh, man. And I'm actually making a joke about it, but I would hate to see that, boy. Everybody had to leave the country, man. I really would. Right? Oh my goodness, man. Boy, that's why I say you have one party that has common sense, right? First and foremost, right? And logic. It's got tangible ideas. It's obviously the Democrats think I'm talking about the far left. They got ideas too. They want a totalitarian government, big, huge government, taking away your rights away, taking away censorship, taking away the Constitution, taking away your guns, right? They want to do all this stuff, right? Did y'all not forget? Well, hold on for a minute. I got all the receipts here though. I'm gonna bring up stuff. You guys remember when when it was Twitter? Remember Biden and his government, DOJ And the FBI and them went to these tech companies, right? I think it was the FBI, but one of them, they went to these tech companies, right? You know what they ended up doing? They forced these tech companies to go after conservative, anybody that's speaking out against, they went after these people. They even debanked conservatives, right? If you was a Trump supporter, if you even had on your Twitter channel and some of these other channels, social media channels, Make America Great, man, you would get your channel flagged down and taken down. You guys remember that stuff? That's not American, man. That is what we call communism right there. That's exactly what it is. Same thing that's been going on in Venezuela way before Trump liberated Venezuela. Same thing in Cuba, right? People in North Korea, other parts of the world do not have access to what we have. We take our freedom of speech for granted. I really do. We take the Constitution for granted. These are the Declaration. These are the greatest forms of ruling government in the world. Nobody else have it, right? This is why everybody wants to come here. Don't let the far left radical, whacked out, alt-left progressive Democrats tell you otherwise, because they haven't had a history of a working, functioning government. They can't. We had a debate now. They could not show me nowhere. And if they try to bring up one, it would be a lie. It'll be shot down immediately. That's why they don't come up here, right? This is exactly what it is. It's pretty obvious. 77 million plus voted for Trump. Cammie was nowhere near in that figure. They even lied with the numbers. We're going to find out what those real numbers is once they make it public, because I really would like the number. No, is it in the teens? Or I think it's even less than the teens, you know? Oh, man, the Cammie. I call her the Cammie. I don't even call her that no more. I call her the Cammie, right? I mean, look at some of these comments here. The Cammie. Yeah, the Cammie. You know what I'm saying? All right, we got some people in the house. Hold on, I got all my mods in here, boy. Your boy is making some sense today, ain't he? Boy, or I should say tonight. Hold on for a minute. We got my members. I got to give a special shout out to my members first, boy. First of all, well, who we have here? We got my mods, but for the males, we actually have Jason Beatrice, a member, right? Oh, my goodness. And a mod. We got, I'm sure Brian Reedy may be in here. Coconut Are Real is in the house. Oh, my goodness. Let me go ahead. Coconuts Are Real. We got Black Guy 9 in the house once again. Let me do it again. Oh, man, I saw Texas Jane. She walks around. She's a modern day Annie Oakley, you know, with the verbiage. You know what I'm saying? Boy, you got to be right with Texas Jane, though. She's a fast, quick on the draw with her 6 irons, you know. For those that don't know who Annie Oakley is, you can always Google it, you know. We're talking about the Wild Wild West, you know. They actually have female gunslingers, too, you know. Yeah, boy, I tell you, boy, where's my thing at? Where's my special thing at? Oh, yeah. Yeah, Texas Jane. Yeah, let me see here. Let me see here. Who else I have in here? Yep. Oh, yeah, I know she loved that baby crying and stuff. Well, hopefully we're going to have that baby crying in here in a minute. Mm-hmm. Yep. That's why I say, let me see here. We got the first Avenger. I think he was in here before. Right, yeah, let me see here. He says, Biden economic numbers make MAGA heads explode. 12.6 GDP growth to 16.6 million jobs created and 1.6 million jobs created under the construction and manufacturing, the lowest average and unemployment rate in 50 years. Biden makes MAGA's heads explode. Is this what you're saying? This about Joe Biden? You saying this about Joe Biden, first Avenger? Because let's see here. I got you covered. Avenger, that's not true. In fact, let me go ahead and give you the real stuff. Just give me one moment. All right, because you know I like to fact check people and stuff like that. So just give me one moment. The first Avenger been in this room before too. I remember him, and the only reason I know that because you know I'm a Marvel fan too. I'm a comic book fan. I collected comic books. The first Avenger was Captain America, but he couldn't put that down on there, though. See, you didn't think I knew that first Avenger, did you? I know that the shield is a giveaway. But he said, I mean, I just read what he's saying, you know. So the Post frames these figures as causing distress amongst Trump supporters. But the Post presents cumulative, let me see here, and cherry-pick figures without the context of the post-COVID recovery based. It says here that what you just posted at First Avenger as high on the bias, high on the spin, and also high on missing information. So therefore, what he left out, the majority of jobs cited were recovered from COVID-19 lockdown losses, not net new jobs created by Biden. So that's the first thing. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and post that in the room too, because I'm going to be fair. Just like he posted what he said was not true, and I knew it wasn't true when he posted it. So just give me one moment, First Avenger. Let's go ahead and start with that one first. So you guys can see there for what I read, and you know where I got it from. Yep, right pen. Right? Number 2, GDP growth figures include the post-pandemic reopening bounce that began under Trump vaccine rollout. So that's the number 2. Number 3, cumulative inflation under Biden reached 20% or more, erasing real wage gain for most American workers. Let me go and post that one. So this is, once again, it's a retort to the First Avenger, which is Captain America. But he's not Captain America. He wish. Let's see here. What's the number one? Number 4. The unemployment rate was already falling sharply before Biden took office as the economy reopened. Remember, before Biden got in there, you know who the president was on the First Avenger? It was Trump. So I'm going to go ahead and post that up in here too. So therefore, he would definitely, we don't put false and biased information here. We come with the facts. And there that is, right? So once again, the Post present Biden's economy, right, numbers as historic achievement, but leaves out the most important context. Nearly all of these jobs were COVID recovery jobs. The economy was already rebounding before Biden, as I mentioned, took office, and a cumulative inflation under Biden wiped out real wage gain for most American families. The GDP bounced because of lockdown ending, not because of any of Biden's policies. Fact. All right, so now that we got that out the way, so there it is, though. So First Avenger, sorry, thank you for participating, but your facts are not true, and you know it, right? And this, like I said before, they study. See, what the thing about it, though, is that people like First Avenger, who's the other guy that I always revisit? PG, Pittsburgh. This dude, the problem with these guys is that they're cowards and they won't call out their far left policy problems of their party. He won't call them out. He is okay with men being in women's bathroom. He is okay with having these children and the mutilization processes going on. You notice that these guys steer away from those conversations. But guess what? I got the kryptonite for him, right? Because he has to answer those questions, which many of them are afraid to do, right? That's why I take all this other stuff that they're saying. I don't even take it seriously. I really don't. How could you? How could you take this stuff serious with what they're saying? They've been wrong about policies, and then they're too afraid to challenge their own, I'm telling you, their far left policies. They won't do it. They're too afraid.
Thank you for the likes.
Thank you for the likes. I appreciate it. They're too afraid, ladies and gentlemen. They will not deal with it. I mean, this is just crazy. Now, I'm looking in here in the chat things. You know what I'm saying, Black Guy 9? You know, they just refuse to deal with these facts. You know? I know that. Look at it. You can't even take PGH Lover, right? You can't even take this guy seriously. He stuck on Trump when his whole party on the left is trying to destroy America. Trump, on the other hand, is trying to fix it. You notice with Trump, he ain't talking about say the genders and wars and all this stuff. He ain't talking about none of that. He's trying to correct it and say men are men and women are women. What's wrong with that? Right? You notice PG Lover and the other dude, First Avenger, they like to cherry pick topics that try to fit their narrative. You know? All you've been doing is getting the L every time you come in this room. You know what I'm saying? You ain't stumping no one. But I'm stumping you with your own people's policies that's coming on the who? The far left, the Democrat Socialists, and these are the ones, these bastards are trying to destroy America. How about that? How about that? He won't talk about that. And this is why it's cowardly. That's why I don't take these guys seriously. Are you serious? They won't sit up in here and deal with the real stuff at hand. We talked about the Democrat Socialist. We talked about what they're basically, their goal and their aims. You know what I'm saying? And if we would, I mean, I'm just saying though, instead of, they're cowards. You notice with people that's hardcore dips, they won't call them out. They just stay quiet. But then they jump on there and talk about Trump. They got all this smoke for Trump, but they don't have no smoke for these Democrat, far alt-left radicals. These are radicals. We got a radical right now in the Supreme Court. That's Ketanji Jackson, right? We got a lot of these far left radicals, right? That do not need to be in our, look at them. They don't need to be in our government. We don't need to have them at all, though, you know? What about Ilhan Omar and Taliba Rashid? What about these people, right? These are your radicals, right? And many more of them, right? They shouldn't even be in our government in the first place because they're not American citizens. There's no country in the world that you can be part of the government and be a foreigner. That's why people, in a sense, they do laugh and joke at with us, man, because it's like, damn, the Americans is crazy, man. Ain't no way in the world that would happen in Japan. It wouldn't even happen in Korea, let alone anywhere else. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense. All right, we got Paul in the house. A shout out to Paul as well. Hey, Paul, how you doing, man? Yep, we got Paul here, boy. Yep, but I'm just saying, though, you know. Yep, this is the problem. The problem that these guys like PGH Lover, right, and First Avenger, both of them been in the room many of times. You know, Ryan and all the rest of them, they will not answer the question. They won't call the parties out. The problem is not Trump. The problem is your alt left, your far progressive left. I'm talking about Democratic Socialist. This is the problem. This ain't even about liberal right now. We are talking about, and like I said, I can deal with liberals. I got friends that are liberals. One thing I got to worry about liberals, that they're not even trying to push to have men up in the women's bathrooms and all this stuff. Liberals that I know, now it could be different for some of you guys, but I know some liberals, and I can deal with their liberal ideologies, man. I mean, to a point. But this alt-left, this radical group, they're too extreme, man. They're too extreme. You know what I'm saying? He's saying you are full of shit. But I tell you this, though, Stephen. I got him too, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Stephen, how do you stand on having men in women's bathrooms and child mutilization, Stephen? Where do you stand on that? Since I'm full of shit, where do you stand on that, sir? Because you are a coward unless you stand on that shit. Maybe he do stand on that shit. I'm not for sure. Stephen, do you stand on that shit? You know, I'm just being honest. Because you got some people that, I'm just saying, what happened? The cat got your tongue, Stephen? Stephen Eric Hoffman? Huh? Right? Do you have children? You sound like you do. You want men up in the bathroom with your children? Is that hot? Huh? Is that what you want? Shit, I can just go ahead and go by, well, I identify as a woman. Let me go on here and shave and stuff and shave my legs. Forget about what the girls and little girls are. Come on, Stephen. Since I'm full of shit, Stephen, come on now. Where are you? See, this is their Achilles heel. All you got to do the far left is easy to deal with on the debate because they don't have no smoke for this stuff. You know, that's why he said you full of shit. You know, that's not a great response back if we're having a real debate. By default, I would have won, right? I timed him out for a second. Okay, that's cool. He wasn't talking. You did the right thing. He wasn't talking about something anyway. An old timer. You know what? You on the verge of being timed out too, because you a coward though, old timer. Nothing in this room that you're saying holds weight. You remind me of another. You could be a pedo for all I know. You know what I'm saying? Because you must like being in the women's bathroom. You must be one of those cross-dressing transgender-ass men. You must believe in that crap. And you must also stand for child mutilation, old-timer. Talk about that, you pervert, you. You know what I'm saying? You won't call your party out for this stuff. I don't have no respect for no man and no woman. If you stand with this, then hey, you know what I'm saying? You know, like I said, it's something like political. It's like poetic justice. I wish we would like to see. If a man try to go up in a woman's bathroom today, in any of our presence, let's just say, let the chips fall where they fall. You know what I'm saying? Look at this. This is a coward. Old timer is a coward. First Avenger is a coward, right? PG Lover is a coward, right? Because you don't hear any of them, right? Pushing back against this radical, far whacked out left Democratic Socialist parties that have been responsible for trying to destroy America, right? That means you ain't even American, man, let alone, right? Team 1 says AOC was a bartender in debt with a few years in her political position. She suddenly is worth $30 million. How is that possible, Juju? This is what Team 1 said. We have here, I seen this guy named Juju. You know, Juju on that beat. Juju on that beat. You Juju on that beat. What is Juju? I know what Juju mean. You know, Juju. Oh, my goodness. Boy, I tell you, man, I don't want no voodoo Juju. Oh, my God. Yeah, Texas J called it Juju an idiot. That's what I'm saying, man. Coconuts are real. No one here has an open housing. Yeah, I mean, yeah, man. And see, you notice with people like Juju, add him on the list, right? They bring up narratives and arguments that they think that they can fight. But when we come with the real kryptonite about the men and women bathrooms and child mutilization of the genders, he noticed that he don't have anything. He won't talk about it, and he's going to change the topic, change the narrative. And that's exactly what it is. I know you're trying to play safe, but Juju, it ain't no escape. I got to come down on you too. I got to come down on anybody, right, that's not pushing back against their bullshit party, which is what we call the Progressive Democrat Socialist, because that's who your party is, right? That's exactly who your party is. Boy, we got Denise Farmer in the house. Oh, yeah, there it is. Got all my mods in here tonight, though. No, yeah, y'all been doing a great job, man, because now that we don't have to worry about a lot of disrespectful. They know better not to come in here doing what they were doing before, you know. And this is one of the reasons why the numbers are down so low. That's okay. I'd rather have low numbers and real good, because right now we have a community, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, whether y'all know it or not, you mods, ones I made mods, we have a community right here. We all are like-minded people, and our message is steady spreading. This ain't about having the big, huge views and having people coming in here running off at the mouth. Hey, you know what I'm saying? If I say this, if you want to talk and debate about these child mutilization, right, as well as men and women bathroom, well, we're more welcome to talk about it, right? That's exactly what it is. And let me put up the rules again. You're not allowed to attack the host, first and foremost. You're not allowed to talk over the host or crash out, right? You're not even allowed to change, ask a question with a question, or you're not allowed to compare apples to oranges. We want to stay on the same topic. And right now, the transgender topic, right? Because we know that the far left progressives, right? These are the people that are socialist, communists, and soon and already, socialist, Marxists, and then communists, right? This is the party. This is the threat to America right now, right? And it's just amazing how these people come in here. They want to push narratives and pick narratives, but they don't want to talk about what the things that they party stand for. Big centralized government, right? Regulations, right? Pushing the business out of America, right? This is what they want to do. Bring the illegals in America and get them to work for cheap. And that's exactly what they've been doing. This is their policies, ladies and gentlemen. Before America, we was the leading. We was the superpower. Now we're coming back to being the superpower. But I'm just saying, all this happened after 1971, to be exact. Petrodollar, that was coming on board as the gold standard went down. American companies had no choice. A lot of them had to leave America. And who was responsible for that, right? And this is exactly why we were in this situation until Trump came along. We know that left-leaning policies have never been the answer anyway. What they do is bait and switch, right? They want to come with a problem fix, and they don't fix nothing. All they love to do is blame other people, and all they know how to do is steal money. Rhino Republicans and Democrats are the same group, uniparty. The Rhino Republicans are the Decepticons, more than meet the eye, right? They wear the Republican conservative garb, but underneath there are much winks and secret handshakes, you know, Massey and Cassidy and all the rest of them, right? They're over here winking and giving us special handshakes. They're all friends. Mitch McConnell, they're all friends with the left. They're no damn different than Nasty Pelosi, Maxine Waters, and all the rest of them. They're the same group. That's why we never seen anything or any type of change coming from the Republican side either. It was just a big game, right? Look at it. You know what I'm saying? Boy, I tell you, man. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen. So the thing about it is that the radical left, right? The progressives, right? With their far, right, whacked out policies that don't work for no one in America. They hate the Constitution, right? They want to take the guns away. That's why they keep saying gun control. It ain't really gun control. They use that, and then they're going to bait and switch. Because once they get leverage of taking the guns, it starts with the AR-15. It's going to start with every other gun. And then you can't have a handgun right now. Look at UK and look at Australia. They're doing the same thing, right? Canada is on the verge of losing their guns. I got friends that live in Canada. Boy, I tell you, man, they ain't no match for us, though, ladies and gentlemen. Instead of fighting us, what they should be is that they should be on our side and push against the Democrat or the far whacked out Democrat machine. They should be up in arms. You know what I'm saying? They should be up in arms, man. That's why I say, though, man, they cowards. Because you mean to tell me, and many of them have children too. And I know you guys, to have children. Ain't no way in the world you're going to stand by and allow someone to be in the bathroom with them. Let alone, it's okay to change your gender and we can go ahead and get surgery for this stuff and all the rest of the stuff. It's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, let me see here. Term 1 says stoned, and we'll just sprout the topic liberal rhetoric. They can't answer any honest question. They never could. They can't answer nothing, though. Stone also is another one that I think have been in here. They only talk about narratives and topics. They stay away from these kryptonite conversations that I'm having right now, when it come down to men in women's bathroom and child mutilization. He stays away from that. You notice he haven't talked one time about this. And this is one of my rules. Since I am the host of the show, you are not allowed to deviate outside of the narrative talking topic point that we're actually having a conversation about today. You're not allowed to do it. You're not allowed, because you're being disingenuous. And that's why the mods and others that ride with me in this room just show how ridiculous they are. PG lover, it don't matter to me. We get along just fine in our little room. That's okay. You know what I'm saying? That's okay. I'd rather have a few good people that are on board when it comes down to Judeo-Christian values, right? What this country was built up on, right? And the Constitution of the United States of America. As far as I'm concerned, we are all Americans. Ain't no black, no white, no purple, whatever. We are all Americans. You're about to get roasted, Stone. Yeah, let me see. What is he saying? What is Stone saying? Let me see here. Been kind of running off at the mouth. It ain't nothing new. Stone says you don't find it at all odd that depending on which side this is, he said this, depending on this side that you are on, the view in this country two entirely different ways. Stone, we're not even talking about any of this stuff. Remember what I said before. We're not going to talk about your narratives. It doesn't work that way in this room. I'm gonna tell you one more time. It's not about that. No, I have you yet seen the question. No, you're not allowed to even ask the question. That's one of my rules. We're talking about what I'm talking about, not what you're talking about. You don't run this room. I do. You don't run this room. You have nothing, Stone. You're not gonna avoid this conversation and topic. I'm not gonna allow you to do it. Just like I wouldn't allow Old Timer to get away with it, because he don't have nothing. We're going to talk about the topics that's relevant, that is affecting America. Not that crap, not that rhetoric crap that that propaganda that you're talking about, because it don't hold no water in here. Okay, I get it now. So you only want to talk about that. You damn right. That's what I want to talk about. We don't. Listen, we have the advantage. You don't. So that means that you have to listen and deal with the rules in this room of what we're talking about here. We're not having all these other side conversations. Comprende? Do you understand that? Is that cool? Capiche? Right? Right. So that's all. So other than that, though, and for like I said before, they do it in their echo chambers. Why can't I do it over here? And this ain't even an echo chamber. I'm calling Stone and Old Timer, I'm calling you guys out. The question is, why don't you have smoke for the far left, I'm talking about the far left radical, progressive, Democrat socialist who has been destroying America? That's my question. Why don't you like I said before, why don't you have the smoke for these people? That's the question. Yeah, you got to go ahead and run. You better run. Yeah, see ya. Yeah, you better run, Stone. Use a coward. Run like the cowardly dog that you are with the tail between your legs. Get to running. Get to stepping, right? That's what it is. You ain't got no smoke over here. Get to running. And that's for anybody else, too, that would decide to want to come up here in this room and thinking that they over here being slick. You're going to answer these questions. Or you going to, yeah, that's right. Get up on out of here. Right? Let's see, the far left are batshit crazy. I'm just saying, though, you say see ya. What I'm saying is what I said before, man. You know what the question is, right? Why don't you have the smoke? You can come in my room and say it, but you ain't saying it out there. You and the Democrats, y'all supposed to be fighting for America too, and fighting with these far left, whacked out policies that are destroying America. That's what we're dealing with. Why? In fact, let's go ahead and say this though, Stone. I'm gonna go ahead. Maybe you agree with it. Let's go even further. Why you think somebody like Trump was going to be created? When you have this much extremism, You don't think somebody like Trump, you think somebody like Trump is the problem? Or could it be the people have taken over your party that's the problem? Because the last that I seen, their, ratings is way down in the toilet. It ain't even in the 20%. It's single digits and falling, right? Are you going to die on that hill and back them up? Or are you going to be a man and start to push back against these radicals that's claiming that they are the party of peace, the party of tolerance, the party of love? Are you going to be that one that's going to push back against that stuff? That's all I need to know. Shoot, And what we're going to start doing when they come in this room, we're going to start calling them out on their bullshit policies, right? That they want to sit up here and stand for. We're saying about Trump, because Trump don't stand for same sex or actually men in women bathrooms and all this other stuff. He don't stand on that stuff, right? That's obvious. You know damn well he don't stand on that stuff, right? If it wasn't for Trump's policies, he saved women's sports. And I want the liberal women in this room too, because your sports are saved. You don't have to worry about men breaking women records in the sports and all the rest of this stuff anymore. You have your own sport. Let Caitlin Collins and Angel Reese and all the rest of them enjoy their sports. You don't want to be seeing no man playing in the WNBA, but some of them look kind of, you know what I'm saying? What's her name? Oh, man, Brittany Griner. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, she got a beard now, man. Ooh, man. Ooh. Ooh, boy. Yeah. But y'all already know. Oh, boy. But that's the thing about it, man. And I'm going to start calling them out on this, man. Every time they come in this room, we ain't going to go with this semantic stuff. I'm still going to ask the question to them. Why don't they have the same smoke for their party, the radical party that's destroying their party? This is why it was easy for Trump to kick they behind on their own BS policies, right? And we're going to have some other questions for them too, right? The same group of people, right, that have taken money. Now, we already know that the old school Dems been doing it. I can't put that just on the radicals. The radicals is on something totally different. But these are questions. Mr. Black Guy 9 says they ask questions, but they never, they always asking questions. That's why in this room, I'm not answering no more questions for anybody that's on the left. I'm not answering their questions no more because their questions are irrelevant. Because we know it's a tactic to detour and deflect of what we're talking about. It's not going to work here no more. So they may have to find another room to deal with. That's what that is, though, right? Brittany Griner, off drugs, smuggler. I know, right, Turn because she was crying over there in Russia when they hit her. Man, I tell you, man, she's still a woman, though. No matter how she want to be a man, want to have a beard, all this other stuff, she going to regret it when she get older. Because I believe she may have some type of actually, she does have some type of possible mental issues, right? To be able to put her body and go through this type of stuff, you do got to have some type of upstairs may not be right. You know what I'm saying? May not be right. It's sad, though, too, man. Damn. Woo, man. Boy, we got the legendary, ladies and gentlemen. Wait a moment. I got to do something special for Kurt. I got something here for Omega. Hold on for a minute. Boy, we got the legend, Omega, the absolute, boy, I tell you, this guy here, when it comes down to knowledge, history, and everything, I learned a lot. Boy, we got the legend, the legendary Omega in the house. Where my applause at? We got Omega in here, boy. Boy, Omega said, I just stopped in for a second. Got a lot going on. My apologies for the weekend. Man, no apologies at all, Omega. Man, but I said, man, I ain't talked to you in about a few months. But I know you out there driving, man. You know what I'm saying? You're getting it going. I understand it. But, yeah, man, I got to go ahead and give you your flowers, too, man. We got Omega, ladies and gentlemen, and things like that. So, yeah, man. So when I have you back up here, Omega Man, and things, well, we can go ahead and talk about it. I mean, things that are in your wheelhouse, and things, of course. But yeah, it's always been cool seeing him and Joe Mama in here. We got Brian Reedy in here. Oh my goodness, a member. Yeah, he's a member. Brian Reedy, I appreciate you as well as a mod. I appreciate it. That's why y'all see the little yellow next to it. That just indicates that he's a member, and you can always tell that because he has a little red hat, the MAGA, Make America Great Again. Yeah, Omega Man, so the room is under control, sir. I'm actually able to see when you and Joe Mama, y'all been rolling with me since 2024, man. I tell you, man, boy, that's what's up. Y'all, yep. But yeah, it's good having you on, man. We appreciate you, man. We got Brian Reedy, we got Texas Jane. Yep, I tell you, Black Guy 9, Hammer down, Omega keep between the line driver. I know, right? We had that one caller on there the last time, man. Oh my goodness, man. Talking about, yeah, you my enemy, Yeah, you my enemy, man. Oh my goodness, man. See, this is the insane stuff. Me or Omega never called that guy out, man. I never, well, he's my enemy and all this other stuff, man. And when they be coming in this room and try to come for me, man, and they try to insult the host, we was having a real debate. I would win by default. I didn't go out here one time calling none of these brothers out their name. Even I never called them no ninjas and none of this type of stuff, no need to, right? Kurt says, oh, I'm going to be starting a new gig on the 8th of June. So next Monday, got sick of driving 50 miles to go to work. Hey, man, I get it, though, Omega, man, because they were saying with the statistics, and I don't know how true it is, but is it true that 91% of truck drivers, do not make it? You know what I'm saying? So we only talking about the 4%, because it is taxing on the body, man, depending on your routes. Even that route, man. 50 miles, man, to and from, yeah, that can be tiresome after a while, though, And then you got to deal with idiots on the road. You guys got to make those wide U-turns, and you got to deal with the stuff, deal with the police, especially state police, man, and things like that. Yeah, it could be daunting, man, let alone taxing. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I thought about it, but I said, yeah, I thought about it. But yeah, man, it's good to have you on, man, and things. So congratulations to you starting your new job, man. Yep, congratulations to you, Omega, man. I'm sure it's for more money. I'm sure of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure it's for more money. We got Full Metal. Full Metal SP1 says, who the are you talking to, loser? You have 9 views and half of them are only here to laugh at your he got in his feelings, y'all. You think about anything, you little bitch. Oh my goodness, man. Oh, Full Metal, do I upset you that much? You have an IQ of 75, boy. Oh man, guys. Boy, Full Metal, get it off your chest. Get it off your chest. You got anything else to say to me? Get it off your chest. Yeah, you speak to me with your chest, boy. Yeah. So you got anything else to say, Full Metal? I'm going to let him have at it. Go ahead, get it off your chest, Full Metal. It's like, who are you talking to? I'm talking to you, Full Metal. Get it off your chest. Say it with your chest, Full Metal. Say it with your chest. Say it with your chest, man. Everybody looking at you. He went in too, man. I think I know who this is too. You know who this is? It's that other dude. One thing about it, he never changed his dialogue. He never speak. You always know who people are by the way they type. Yep, the way they type. I know who this is though too. Full Metal, I know who you are. You were banned in this room before. You remember? For somebody with a low 75 IQ, I know who you are. Let me see here. Yeah, okay. So Omega says same money, just not burning $150 per week on gas with the $250. Yeah, man, that gas, man. Woo, man. It's been it was challenging, man. Shit, I've been going to the sheets and running unleaded 88, man. Shit, they got it right now for on Vining Road. What is it? $3.50 with the 3% discount. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's the thing about it, though, man. Got Jason Beatrice in the house. Let us have fun with. Oh yeah, for sure. It's easy having fun when it said you're not talking to anyone, dum dum. You got in car and drove down to Target to buy all this recording equipment for nothing. Nobody cares. If nobody cares to your logic, Full Metal, you wouldn't even be in here. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my goodness. Oh, man. He said, I went down here to Target to buy all my equipment to be able to have a conversation. How do you like it, Full Metal, man? And what he don't really realize, I've been had this equipment for a long time. Because my background is in video, in sound. He went to school for it, you know. That's why my voice sounds so clear, right? This is why my audio is on fire, as well as my video is on fire, sir. You know what I'm saying? Coconuts are for real, says Full Metal. When you're done, I'll send you a senior packet. And that's what Coconuts are real is saying to you, Full Metal, you know? You know what I'm saying? So he says here, you had such high hopes, didn't you? I said, such high hopes. Oh, my goodness. Hold on, where's my sound? You know what I got to do? Hello, guys. You already know what's coming, don't you? Hold on for a minute. Hold on for a minute. Have fun, a little fun. Where's my thing at? Oh, my goodness. Hold on. Boy, he had such high hopes.
Beta!
Oh, yeah. Full Metal is what?
Beta!
Oh, my goodness. Full Metal, though. Now, Full Metal, don't you go start crying, though, Full Metal. I hope you don't start crying, man. Is Full Metal crying yet? It look like he is, though. Oh, my goodness. I'll make him famous. Full Metal, you crying? Yeah, he's crying, y'all, man. Where my baby sound at? Let me get that baby. Hold on for a minute. Oh, yeah, there it is. Full Metal, are you crying? Oh, Full Metal. What he says, I thought you were going to be a big mama, a big MAGA influencer. Nope. You're talking to 9 people. So is that so let me ask you this though, Full Metal. Is that your reason for attacking me? Because I only have 9 people? Huh? Is that why? You mean, so Full Metal's upset because I'm supposed to have more people, according to his logic. But, Full Metal. Oh, the baby crying. Oh, you going to be all right, Full Metal. Yeah, everybody in this room, let me see here. Omega says, Full Metal shit packs. He got the question mark. Is that what the SP1 means? Shit pack 1? Yeah, that's why I was kind of wondering about the SP1. What does that mean? Full Metal says, I would have a bigger audience if I opened my window and yelled outside. Ain't nothing stopping you, Full Metal. Why don't you go ahead and get you a channel? I promise I'll come on your channel. And in fact, when you invite me up, I'll come up there too. When you make a channel, I would come on your show, sir. I would. Can't influence stupid. I know, right? Oh, my goodness. Hilarious. Man, he says, Full Metal is hilarious. I did for a minute. You came in here popping all that good stuff earlier, though. Do I have to get in my stink meter like Boondocks voice and be stink meter on you? Yeah, no. I'm going to do that one. Yeah, you thought you were going to be all that, huh? This is stink meter. Full Metal. What a fuck. He said, what a effing clown. Yeah, I got your clown all right. That's why I kicked you in your chest. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? This is stink meaner, nigga. Oh, my goodness. He said, take your time. Boy, you know I clown you better than you can clown me. That's for sure, boy. Stink. Boy, I tell you, man. Oh, man, where's Full Metal? Full Metal is upset because, yeah, he's upset, ladies and gentlemen, because he doesn't have the equipment like I do. He doesn't have the camera like I do. He don't even have my audience of 8 people like I do with 13 likes. He's upset about that stuff, man. I mean, you know. He's saying, half of these people, as he said, half of these people are your family on their phones. It's better to have family than not, though. Look at you, though, Full Metal. You here by yourself. Where your posse at? Where your party at? Full Metal says, probably why they're so slow at typing, Uncle Tom. Oh, my goodness, boy. I tell you, man. Oh, man, what's this? Chase says Trump is the reason why America is a joke. Hey, Chase, I got a question for you in Full Metal, too. Let me ask you guys this question. Do you believe in men being in women's bathrooms? And do you also believe in children, sex changes, mutilating themselves? Do you guys believe in that? That's what I would like to know. Please tell me. I'm asking a question for Full Metal and the other guy that just came in here and things. I got a question. What's his name again? But that's the question, though, that I have. Yep, Chase. Yeah. Let me ask you guys a question. Let me see here. Just reading everybody else's comments and stuff. Chase, can you answer that question? Are you going to be man enough to answer that question? Nope. He keep talking about America has no credibility left because of Trump. See, they're afraid. They're afraid, though. Hey, you know what? It ain't even worth even getting into it with these guys, so they don't answer questions. Even Full Metal, he just keep talking, just taunting all insults. Ha, ha, ha! It's his effing family. Oh, man. He just discovering something, though, man. Oh, my goodness, though. Are you serious, though, Full Metal? Oh, my goodness. Trump really. See, it's this Trump derangement. I could tell Chase. Look at it. Every time this Trump come out of his mouth, look at this. Trump realized that his deal is with Iran was worse than Obama. He's crazy, man. Hey, man, you know, I mean, it's sad, though, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? This is really, really sad. This is what Trump derangement syndrome really looks like. Oh, my good, Chase. Oh, man, you should chase what matters, man. Oh, man. Full Metal says, got you middle-aged kids typing slow on the other room. Boy, I tell you, man. Boy, Full Metal. Who writes your dialogue, man? Is this supposed to be an insult? The guy don't answer questions, though. People been over here going in on you, Full Metal. Think he's a broadcaster talking to 9 people. Well, I appreciate it. Think I'm a broadcaster. That's a compliment, ladies and gentlemen. I do got a broadcaster's voice. You know, it's unusual to be loved by someone. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my goodness. Jason says they all laugh at the left woke Democrat fraud squad. Yeah, we all do. They know their party is booty and garbage. That's why they don't want to answer nothing. Oh, my goodness. I tell you, man. Jason Beatrice says they all laugh. Oh, yeah, I read that one. Okay. Omega says, Jason Beatrice, but is a contraction of you and R, and yours is the second person positive pronoun, not trying to bust your chops. Oh yeah, Omega is real good when it come down to the grammarization. I get corrected, man, you know, which I don't mind. It's all good. Let me see. Chase says, I'm not American, y'all dummy. That's even, hey, whether you're American or not, but one thing about it, we got the hottest country in the world, though, Chase. And that feels good about being American. You know what's another thing about being American, Chase? I'm glad that you told me that. Guess what, Chase? We have the freedom of speech. You don't have that. Your government is giving you privileges. We have rights. Guess what? Number two, we can have a or you know, because it's in our Constitution. Something that you don't have. Let me tell you another fun fact, Chase. Do you know who holds the more guns throughout the world? Is America by far, right? Ain't that something? Boy, don't you wish he was an American? He just mad because he's not an American. Boy, I like to stand and say I'm American. Gosh, shared his grace on me for all the men and women who have died and fought. So my, you know what, can be free. Well, I tell you, boy, I tell you, man, Yeah, so Full Metal says maybe put the microphone away and go and get your GED. Oh my goodness, is that all you got? Is that all you got? Texas Jane just laughing, man. He says, seriously, slow down. You know, Brian Reedy says, bye, Chase, right? And Full Metal says, take your time. Take your time, young man. Mama used to say, don't you rush to get old. That's old school. Some of y'all, that's old school R&B. Yeah, Full Metal, you don't know nothing about that. Live your life. Full Metal, you do not know nothing about that, boy. Oh, my goodness. Boy, Full Metal, boy. Look at him in here. What is Full Metal? Boy, Full Metal what? You trying to say that you walk around with those Full Metal jackets? Is that what that's about?
Beta!
Is that what it is? Yep. Is that what it is, though, you know? Boy. Going down. Oh, we got another guy in here. See, they cowards, though, because they won't answer my questions. Look at it. He got down here, pedophile protector. You the ones that's protecting them because you want these men to be in women's bathrooms and stuff. You also want these little kids to change their genders. What a freak and a creep. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my goodness. The freaks come out at night. Uh-oh. The freaks come out at night. Freaks come out. Oh, man. Going down. I'm not laughing at the party who continually protects pedophiles. Well, you come in here making a statement which is not factually true, right? This is why people are laughing at you as well. You know, you just put up something because how you feel. It's called Trump derangement syndrome or never Trumper. You don't think we get this all the time, you know? Oh, my goodness. Full Metal. Shit punk has a number one track mind, right? He does. He who calls other black people an Uncle Tom are themselves Sambo. Yeah, he never read Uncle Tom Scabbard. He don't know nothing about that. Omega don't know nothing about it. I just say how he make a fool out of himself. He got the whole thing wrong. He don't even understand the history, let alone Uncle Tom. And Uncle Tom I ain't gonna tell him, man. He go ahead and make him read. He don't even know the history. Boy, I tell you. Chase is still in Wi-Fi. Is that what it is? Should I have to call? Man, I need to get my siren sound effect on here. Yeah, Omega says, I estimate that there is 1 billion guns in civilian hands in the U.S. I own at least 20 plus. I know that's right, though, Omega. We have the highest amount of guns throughout the world. No other country out-rival us when it come down to Second Amendment, right? That's the thing about it. So for Chase, you know, we have more. In fact, the government is really, really afraid of the people. That's why they try to push all these gun rights, so-called gun laws, right? To try to take our guns away, man. And we know, hell no, that ain't going to happen. Larry Bone says America love their gun rights. We love our guns rights. And if you were American, you wouldn't even say that, you know, right? But I know, I'm just joking with you, Larry Bones. But I like, because, you know, I'm just teasing you, Larry. Anybody that got an American flag is an American. See, that's the thing about it, y'all, and things. There's an American right there. Love their gun rights, right? We do. We do love our gun rights. Yep. And like I said, though, got more guns, boy, I tell you, man, it is our right as an American to own and possess, right? Or, possess I'm trying to say it here, possess a firearm, right? And I also have a CPL, meaning I'm licensed. But we really don't even need a CPL because the Democrats have put mandates over what is actually allowed according to the Constitution, right? Right? The Second Amendment, boy, it's a beautiful thing, man. The Second Amendment, I tell you, man, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Yep, Second Amendment. Boy, but it's a beautiful thing, man. Yep, beautiful, beautiful thing, though. In fact, we need to find out. Because I believe Omega when he said that. How many guns are there in America? That's let me see, because you got countries. Let me see here. Let's see here. I think that would be an AI question, actually, wouldn't it? How many guns do Americans own over other countries? That's the question. Let's see what it says. And I'm going to show you guys in a minute. I got a lot of light coming in here too. That's okay though. Ooh, man, you guys are going to like these. Maybe I'm going to have to do one and have Omega up here on gun laws and gun and all the rest of this stuff. I'm going to go and show you guys this here. You know what I'm saying? Because that guy wouldn't have said that, boy, if he really knew. Okay, here it is. Boy, I got a lot of light in here. Let me do this here. I may not even need this too much light. Okay, that's better. Let me turn this one off too. It's too much light. What the? All that light. All right, there we go. That's somewhat better. Got to use that natural light. In fact, let me just do this. I'll just keep this one on. That's a little bit better. That way you can see my face. You guys see that? Look at that there. You see at the top where it says United States? This is coming from Grok. United States is #1 guns per 100 people. Look at this, 120.5. The total civilian guns are 393 million. We are towering. We are dwarfing other countries in the world. Look at this. The Falkland Islands, it says guns per 100 people, 62.5. Very small population. That's why their numbers don't even come up under total civilian guns. But in Yemen, 52.8, but 15 million. And you can see right here. New Caledonia, 42.5, small population. Serbia, 39.1, 7 million. Finland, 32.4, 1.8 million. Switzerland, 27.6, 2.3 million. Boy, I see, and then it says here the second place countries have roughly half or less per capita rate of the U.S. No other major countries come close. Look at that. I'm just going to keep this up here for a little bit. Look at that, though, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about global comparison, guns per 100 residents. Yeah, Omega, you in that statistic. If you got over 20 plus guns, you know what I'm saying? I got my something. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness, boy. Look at that here. Y'all see that? Boy, I tell you. Good math, right? Yeah, that's a beautiful thing, though, boy. They terrified of coming into America. Terrified. Boy, I tell you, 393 million? Yeah, that's what it says, Omega. Not that it's assuming average owners only owns 2, right? And not even counting collection and the FFLs, the firearms, licenses and all that stuff. Oh, man. You got Super Walmart in here? Oh yeah, sup. I don't know what I'm doing here. It's all good. You know, sure, you make me want to shop at Walmart, and I'm not even a big Walmart lover, but I see that logo up there. That's marketing for you, though, right? Don't they just want to make you go shop now? Yeah. Let's see here. Texas Jane is. I'm going. Okay, going. You should support ICE and deportation pedals as well. Let me see here. That's what Texas Jane was telling me. Let's see here. And Kurt says, "Oh wait, I misread that. 100 per 393 million. That's right. That is 300 billion. Yeah, when you try to put the 100 per in there, yeah, that's yeah. I accept your math. Yeah, I accept your math, man. Yeah, man. Let me see. CRXRB51. We are number 5 in the world for the pew pew violence. If you take out the 4 top Democrat-ran cities, we drop to 153. There's only 190 some countries. That's correct. 100. Yep. Pew pew. You know what I'm saying? Yep. You'll never want to go anywhere without your American Express. Pew pew. Just ask Texas Jane, man. She's a modern day Annie Oakley, you know. Kurt's, let me see, the lobbyists. What is going down? No, Jason, I'm independent. I get rid of those electoral colleges. I get rid of the Citizen Unite Gap campaigns, get rid of the lobbyists. In-state ranked choice voting. That two-party system only works for lobbyists. Yeah, this is going down. Yeah, let me see here. Kirk says, misread again. 120 per 100. That is 1.2 guns per person. Yeah, man, I'm going to take your math for it. Black Guy 9 says, invade if you like and watch what happens. I know that's right, Black Guy 9. They ain't going to want to do it. Turn 1 says, blue cities are the bad apples you hear about. Absolutely. Texas Jane says we're going into the wrong. We're going to go. Okay, what's going wrong? Libtards that go against your paid narrative. Yep, libtards, right? Jason Beatrice says independent is cool. Turn 1 says I don't touch our and don't touch our boats. I know, don't touch our boats. Don't rock the boat. Don't rock the boat, baby. Don't rock that boat and don't touch it. Jason Beatrice says, I like independence. Yep. Nothing wrong with it. You know what I'm saying? Nothing wrong with it. Going down. All right. Hopefully, Jelly and Sparkles, right, are okay feeding themselves. Surely, they're not reliant on handouts. Am I right? Yep. Jelly and Sparkles. Jelly and Sparkles. Boy, it feel like you get cavities right about now, boy. Brian Reedy says, going down. We have the Electoral College for a reason, and stand by it. Yeah, there's a reason for the Electoral College. You know, there's a reason for it. Like we have the 3 levels of government. You mess with any of these things, you're gonna have problems. The founder and fathers knew what they were doing by having 3 branches of government as well as the Electoral College. We know for sure who wants to get rid of it, right? And that would be on the left, the radical left, right? Brian Reedy says we are a representative republic. Yep, you're absolutely right. A Black Guy 9 says America is not a democracy. Well, we don't rock with the mob rules around here. Coconuts are real says going what? Jason Beatrice says, I like smaller governments, less corruption. A lot of your old school libertarians do too. Live and let live. They just want to live in peace. They don't want a big government overreaching, telling us what to do, right? What would be the point, right? What would be the point? You know, Texas Jane says, going where a constitutional republic, right? Stop crying. Let me see. Going down says, well, this administration is not small government. actually, in actuality, going down. This administration is once small government, but right now we are in a fight. There are groups of people that want to keep the status quo. They want to keep their wealth. They want to stay in power. And this is why it doesn't appear to look like Trump is not doing anything, but he actually is. You know what I'm saying? Because if you notice, what was going on and seeing the pushback Trump was getting and how he's been fighting these people, right now with the redistricting, which is a major win, getting 37 of appointees or actually nominees in the position and stuff. We already got our man in the Federal Reserves. So things is going down. It just takes time. Brian Reedy says, and I don't want a mob rule, right? Yep, a congested city shouldn't be able to dictate their rules in the rest of the state or country. You're absolutely right about that, Brian Reedy. Jason Beatrice says, my focus is on fraud, inside trading, secure borders, right, and safe and fair elections. He's absolutely right. You're absolutely right about that. That's what we all want. Going down says, Brian, where do you live? Let me see here. Coconuts Are Real says, is smaller than the last DEI setup. It sure is, because we got rid of all that stuff. You know, Trump is a builder. And what he's been doing, he's taken the long way for a reason and purpose. We've seen what happened with the short way, where JFK tried to do. You know, look at what they trying to do. Even with Trump doing the long way, look what they try to do. We're talking about so many assassination attempts. You know what I'm saying? For right now, Trump is the best thing that we got for America. Because with Trump and America First agendas are saving America. First time ever. Right? Going down says, okay then, this administration for you, Jason. Going down says they're trying to federalize elections. Here's the thing about it going down. The way that the current elections have been running, especially in the blue states, they are allowing illegals to vote in our voting process, which is totally illegal. It's unconstitutional. It's just outright un-American. That's why we call it the American Saved Act, right? It's a safeguard to protect our future elections, right? We want to make it we want to have it in law and for it to be codified, so therefore it's not easily to be removed, right? Let's see here. Coconuts Are Real says, oh, Lucky is back. Haha. And then we have here, Omega says, going down, democracy is a two wolves and a sheep voting for dinner. We have never been a democracy. We always have been a republic. Before 1865, constitutional representatives, and after was a federal rep. You know, this is in Omega's wheelhouse, man. Excuse me. CRXR says, the blue cities with the most restrictions count for the majority of violence, which is true. The experiment has been ran for at least 50 years. It's a fail, absolutely, because we could see cities like that. But when Trump brought those National Guards in, like in Washington, D.C., what else did he did? Memphis, Tennessee, and so forth. And we started seeing crime drop down dramatically, right? It started going way down. I think it was like 20% or so. But look at it. It's been the lowest since 120 years. I mean, 150. Wait. 150 years. So, no, 120 years. So here it is, ladies and gentlemen. The crime has dropped dramatically, right? Now, what people are finding out, why didn't they do this, right? Because that would be the question. It was that easy that Trump was able to do it. The Dems don't have it on their watch of doing it. They said that we couldn't do it. We was overwhelmed. They gave every excuse in the book, and look what happened, you know? That lucky one says, who's the first butthurt MAGA that can't defend gonna ban me? That lucky mother is back in the room. Hold on for a minute. Lucky, man. Hey, Lucky, I gotta, here it is. You know my rules, right? Lucky, I want you to answer this question. Do you stand for children mutilization of their genders? And number two, do you like men and women bathrooms? This is a question for you, Lucky. And I hope you're man enough, Lucky, to answer that question, man. I really do, because I'm going to lose major respect for you if you don't answer that. Oh, like we have here, Censor Sergeant is in here. Shout out to Censor Sergeant, man. Censor Sergeant. There we go. Trump is finished. Trump is finished. Okay, I asked you the same question, though. Trump is the finisher. That's correct. Misread that. But that's basically what I have for his question, right? Let me see here. Turn one says, we are a constitutional republic. Democracy alone is very bad. Should we vote to see if slavery should be legal again? A democracy allows that. A constitutional republic doesn't even allow that to be. Got a good point in regards to that, because we had the Constitution, right? And we know that the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment was truly designed for, or actually was for ex-slave babies, right? Yeah, exactly, though. I mean, that's the only thing, though, along with a lot of other things that are in the amendments, right? We have the best governing tool throughout the world. No other country or government in the world doesn't work. That's why the Dems are always screaming and hollering about Democrats and Democrat socialism and all this other stuff, talking about all this and talking about Marxism and stuff like that. They want it to work, but they don't have a history of it. Because if it really worked, shouldn't we by history have something? I mean, we all know who Karl Marx is, but shouldn't we have something in history where that actually worked? That's what I'm saying. That's the question. We don't have it. Let me see here. The liberals, as well as the armed sheep, contesting the vote. And let me see here. Black Guy Guy 9 says he was a rhino. Let's see here. The left. Okay, term one says the left is so far gone. If JFK was alive today, he'll be a Republican. Absolutely. Absolutely, man. Do you live in New York? As he's asking someone. Brian Reedy says, going down, perfect example. NYC is not abide by a dumbass communist making up the rules for the rest of the country just because dumbass, and we're talking about Mondummy, right? That's a true socialist, Marxist, right? Sure is. He sure is Mondummy, right? Let me see here. Man, it's been great having you guys on today, man. You know what I'm saying? I like these little intimate conversations here because we can all have some things to say. And, people that come in the room, it's a beautiful thing, let me tell you. Let me see here. Black Guy 9 says, hey, Mrs. Coconut. Okay, there's a Mrs. Coconut. Did I miss something? Is that a typo? I'm sorry, let me see here. Omega says, turn one. We haven't been a constitutional republic since 1865. Ever since we had been a federal republic, a supremacy clause, which is the 14th Amendment, says that the federal republic and did not soft repeal of 9 to 8 ruling. I guess that's what that means in things. So, 1865. And there's another website that I can bring up. And you guys should actually, I think I shared it with Omega before. I think it's called US versus USA.org. .org, I think it's called. Or is it, let me see, is it .org? Oh, there it is. Info. I had it wrong. A lot of stuff that we're talking about right now, ladies and gentlemen. Come on now. Why you can't find the server? Oh, man. No, they didn't. Let me see here. Uh-oh. Don't tell me they took it down. Oh, there it is. Okay. Probably changed the URL. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen, right here. I shared this about over a year or so ago. This website right here is one of the greatest ones right here. I always keep it in my back pocket. Here it is right here. You have the original on the left. You have the corporation on the right. And it breaks it down. A republic having its beginning in 1776. But look here to the left. A corporation of England created and incorporated by presidential legislative acts in 1871. 51st Congress, Session 3, Chapter 62, page 419. To incorporate means to become a part of something bigger, right? We have a Shure form of government of the right, legitimate, lawful by right, and just titled by law. This is Black Law's Dictionary, 6th edition. Then we have a de facto government. In fact, indeed, actually a state of affairs, but is legal or right here, legitimate by equal. I would say equality and not by law. Is not constitutional. Thus, a officer, king, or government de facto is in actual possession, but by unspartation, right, or without lawful title. Black Law Dictionary. But you guys can see it right here, though. I'm gonna drop this URL here. That way you guys have it. Hold on for a minute. I'm gonna put it right there in the room. It's not a hyperlink. I don't know if you guys can copy that or not. Here, let me do this here. Do I have to log? Let me get in on the other YouTube here. That way you guys can just click it and y'all can pull it up for yourselves. Man, I've been knowing about that website for over 25 years. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull this up here. Let me go pull up my channel first again. Just give me one moment here. Let me see. Where's my channel? Some random. Let me see. Some random guy speaks. Let me see here. Let me see here. Oh, there I am. Okay. Just give me one moment here. All right, let me go ahead and put myself on mute. And then what I'm going to do is I'm in the room now. Okay, there I go. I'm in the room now. I'm going to go ahead and post that. I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste that. Therefore, you guys can read it for yourselves. There it is. There it is right there. You know I love sharing things, though, you know. Yep. This is what we're going to do. Let's take it from the top again. Okay. Hold on for a minute. I got you guys covered because my voice is about shot, but it's all good. I'm going to have this to read it.
American governance. Both systems concurrently exist today. However, the corporate system has been gaining predominance in the last 70 years. Many sovereigns, we the people, have contracted with the corporate system unknowingly, unintentionally, and/or without full disclosure. Which one do you want for yourself, your family, and your posterity? Once you learn the difference, you may have to make a decision for yourself, your family, and your posterity. That decision will require changes in how you conduct yourself. You will have to undo what has been done to make your sovereign status known. This is not taught in the corporate government's public school system, because you are not to know. The one world government system wants and needs to have power and control over the population, masses, they call human resources.
There we go, in a nutshell. Now let's go ahead and read under the original description here, what I was trying to read. Okay, let's go ahead and make it happen like the captain. All right, let's go ahead and get it going.
Union of the several states. The states united. United States in Congress assembled. The United States of America. The United States of America. The United States. Defined as the original or organic.
All right, now let's go ahead and read the one on the right. All right, here we go.
The United States. The United States of America. The United States of America. All capital letters. A fiction. A corporation. The United States of America. The United States. Defined as the corporate U.S.
And this is the reason why they dropped the USA and put the U.S. on there in caps. Means a corporation, right? Let's go ahead and go a little bit further, shall we? We're going to go right back down to this again. All right, let's go ahead and have that to read.
A republic having its beginning in 1776.
Okay, here it is. Well, I'm going to just let this read again what I tried to read. Okay.
A corporation of England created, incorporated by, Presidential Legislative Act in 1871, 41st Congress, Session 3, Chapter 62, page 419. To incorporate means to become a part of something bigger.
There that is, you know. Let's go ahead and do this again here. Have it to read this. All right. That's what I love about a Mac, right?
Having a de jure form of government of right, legitimate, lawful, by right and just title, by law. Black's Law Dictionary 6th edition.
Okay. Now over here on the right, this is since we have been hijacked, you know, by the crown. Here we go.
A de facto government in fact, indeed, actually, a state of affairs, but is illegal or illegitimate, by equity and not by law, is not constitutional. Thus an officer, king or government de facto is in actual possession, but by usurpation, or without lawful title. Black's Law Dictionary 6th edition.
Okay. All right. Let's do this one. Over here to the left, it says create by sovereignty, right? Over on the right, let's take a look at here. So people are all happy over there. They got their freedom and we're having a picnic. They're not under, so you can't be on the beach. Where's your papers?
Created by merchants and bankers through President Lincoln and his cohorts. By acts of treason, they also forced the South and other states to secede. This martial law, actually, martial rule government is a fiction managing civil affairs.
All right, and let's go ahead and see this here. Started with Declaration of Independence. Let's go ahead and get that going. All right.
Started with Declaration of Independence in 1776, Articles of Confederation in 1778, and the Constitution in 1787.
All right. All right. So over here, this is what we have going on over here. This is the people, the tyrants, right? Let's see what they
started with Gettysburg Address in 1864, and the incorporation of District of Columbia by Presidential Legislative Act of February 21, 1871, under the Emergency War Powers Act and the Reconstruction Acts, then reorganized June 11, 1878, 16 Stat 419 Chapter 62.
All right. Now, this is the real information. I heard this before because of this site, this website. Philadelphia is the true capital of the United States, not D.C. But we're going to go into it, though, here. Let me see here. Got some things it's going to read here. Hold on for me. That's too much. Let's just do a little something. I don't want to overwhelm. Let's do this one here. We'll just have it to, we'll have it to read that. Okay, here we go.
Philadelphia is the capital. The Articles of Confederation were agreed to by the United States in Congress assembled on November 15, 1777 and were ratified March 1, 1781. From the time of the Declaration of Independence, July 4, 1776, to the time of the Articles of Confederation there was a space of time of 16 months and 11 days. During this period of time, the several nations, states, countries were sovereign unto themselves as relates to foreign earthly powers. There was an outstanding debt of 17 million silver lira from French banks over 21 separate occasions all due on December 1, 1789. Therefore, a constitution had to be drafted as a bankruptcy charter. Articles establish a sovereign nation, but all constitutions are bankruptcy charters or compacts.
Oh yeah, man. I spent a lot of time with my AI Jason Beatrice. Oh yeah. But yeah, this is basically what it is, and then let's look at what the enemy on the right has to say about it. Let's just check this out. Now check this one out. Okay, let's read this first. All right.
Certain members of Congress created the District of Columbia from portions of 2 states, Virginia, Virgin, and Maryland, Mary. Physically united together they are Virgin Mary, to form a more perfect union as a new United States. All rule comes from District of Columbia, which is run by the Gnostic priesthood of the undisclosed mystery Babylon. Masonic rule. Some of the Masonic symbolism is found in the layout of the district streets, the Washington Monument, obelisk, the Pentagon, and on the back of the $1 Federal Reserve note.
Yeah, you guys get this, right? All right, let's look at President Andrew Jackson and paid the debt. Andrew Jackson was a terror president, right? And let's go ahead and get down to it here on this. All right, man, don't you just love history?
President Andrew Jackson paid the debt in the 1830s. In 1832, while discussing the bank renewal bill to a delegation of bankers, he said, "You are a den of vipers and thieves. I intend to rout you out, and by the eternal God, I will rout you out."
Who you think he was talking to? You guys already know it. He was dealing with these old parasitical elite class of his in his day. Even though Andrew Jackson didn't have to deal with what Trump had to deal with today, man. Ain't that something? Boy, I tell you, man. Let's go down to the Articles of Confederation, right? Let's go down here. Patrick Henry. All right. Let's go ahead and have it to read it all here. Hold on for a minute. Boy, I tell you.
The Articles of Confederation may still be in operation. He, Patrick Henry, boycotted the Constitutional Convention of 1787 because, as he so eloquently put it, "I smell a rat and suspected the worst, that the independent colonies that had thrived for over a century were to be herded under one consolidated government, a vast government apparatus founded not on liberty, but on the bureaucratic dreams of monarchists and mercantilists like Alexander Hamilton." Ryan McMakin, columnist for LewRockwell.com.
All right, so let's go ahead and read over here on the left. Here it is here, Columbia. All right, let's go ahead and do that here. But this guy here, he goes into it, man. He goes into the ancient Babylon mystery system.
Columbia is a name for goddess of creation, war, and destruction, more known as the goddess of death and pain. She is a statue on top of the Capitol building called the Statue of Freedom, which is crowned with pentacles, pentagrams, stars with 5 points. She is seen as other statues around Washington, D.C. area. She is derived from the imagery of Semiramis, wife of Nimrod, and queen of Babylon.
Ain't that something? Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Boy, look at this here. And then we have here, let's see here, where it goes into the Gnostic priesthood. Right. Let's go ahead and let me see here. Yep, let's go ahead and do that here.
Some of the Gnostic priesthood include Illuminati, Skull and Bones Society, Hospitallers, Knights of Malta, Knights of Columbus, Knights of the Round Table, Oddfellows, Society of Jesus, Jesuit priesthood, Knights Templar, Freemasons, Scottish Rite Temple, York Rite Temple, Inner Temple Bar, International Temple Bar Association, Barristers Inn, Zionists, Jesuits, Milner Group, aka Milner's Kindergarten, Round Table Group, Rhodes Crowd, The Times Crowd, All Souls Gop, Clifton Set, The Society of the Elect, The Association of Helpers, Junta of Three, The Secret Society of Cecil Rhodes, Chatham House Crowd, Commonwealth of Nations, Royal Institute of International Affairs, Magistrates, Bar Attorneys.
Yeah, so you guys kind of understand about how America was really drafted out. You know, we're talking about people that escaped with their lives. They were actually kicked out. You know, we're talking about people from the UK, right? And they came over here in America with a lot of these secret societies and stuff. That's why you see a lot of the Masonic stuff and all that, and but just kind of giving, he's the guy who lays it out. He gives a very, very good history of what has been going on here, you know. So now over here on the left versus on the right, because like I said, we've been taking over. But let's go ahead and read what it has over here on the left now. All right.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government. Declaration of Independence.
There it is right here, right? Let's see what the wise words of Adam Samuels, you know. Yep. Remember the beer, you know? That's great lager, you know. All right, here we go.
Samuel Adams said, "When the people fear the government, they have tyranny. When the government fears the people, they have freedom."
That's exactly it, you know. Exactly it. Some of these other things, though, too, with the global elites or the parasitical elite class and stuff like that. Yeah, I remember this is stuff was coming from Alex Jones' InfoWars and stuff when he was saying, and some of this stuff, man, you know, Bohemian Grove, all this other stuff, I mean, it's going to have a read anyway.
Since 1873, the global elite has held secret meetings in the ancient redwood forest of Northern California. Members of the so-called Bohemian Club include former Presidents Eisenhower, Nixon and Reagan. The Bush family maintains a strong involvement. Each year at Bohemian Grove, members of this all-male club don red, black and silver robes and conduct an occult ritual wherein they worship a giant stone owl, sacrificing a human being in effigy to what they call the Great Owl of Bohemia. Alex Jones, Infowars.com.
Yeah, what you guys think, you know? Is this really deep? Here's a beautiful website here, you know. Let me read one more here, and that will be it here. And it's going to have to read this here. All right.
Many governments are established by good people having good intentions, but certain men with bad intentions or another agenda get into government office by some means, lawful or otherwise, find loopholes, revise government and its laws to suit their needs and agenda, and build an empire within government itself, through deceit and lies and through the absence of truth, gain power and control over the people, extracting the people's well-earned money from the people's labor to finance and increase the empire to such an extent that it would seem difficult for people to rise up against it.
There it is, though, ladies and gentlemen, you know. And I'm going to give you a little fun fact here about that little owl that's on the dollar bill. Let's go ahead and bring this up. See, you know, when people that are, you know, in secret societies, symbols, they have a lot of meanings and stuff, even on the dollar bill. It's all Masonic stuff, right? Here it is.
There is a small owl just to the left of the one which appears on the upper right-hand corner of the $1 bill. U.S. titles and codes call D.C. the United States.
Yep. We got the Constitution for the United States of America. Then we have the one on the right, the United States, right? It says the Constitution of the United States. This is a corporation over here on the right. On the left, this is what we call sovereignty, so forth, you know. This is a republic, United States of America, right? Let's go ahead and have it read it. Let's go ahead and get down to it. It's a beautiful thing, isn't it?
The Constitution for the United States of America, now known or referred to as the Organic Constitution. This Constitution established a central government with limited powers to do the will of the people. Its purpose was to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity.
All right. So there that is. Remember what Omega was saying earlier and about the 14th Amendment? Well, we're going to bring this up again as well, though. So let me go ahead and bring this up. So this is what he was talking about.
The Constitution of the United States. The original organic constitution was adopted by the corporation as its bylaws. The original 13th Amendment was replaced, and other amendments added, some by fraud. The 14th Amendment was not ratified. Utah Supreme Court cases. Diet v. Turner 1968, 439, P2D 266, 267, State v. Phillips 1975, 540, P2D 936, as well as Coleman v. Miller, 307 U.S. 448, 59 S. Court 972, 28 Tulane Law Review, 22, 11 South Carolina Law Quarterly 484, Congressional Record, June 13, 1967, pages 15641, 15646.
So they made sure, here it is right here, they made sure that the 14th Amendment never passed. But the 16th Amendment was not ratified by the states. It was saying here that was documented research in the law that never was by Bill Benson and the Red Beckman. But check this out there on the left, the Constitution, right? Here it is. And this is something too, because I'm just going to have it read it first. Here we go.
The Constitution, a bankruptcy compact, designates and limits the powers of the newly established central government and restricts its venue to a district not exceeding 10 miles square and areas purchased for forts, magazines, arsenals, dockyards, and other needful buildings. The organic Constitution was created in 1787, adopted 1789, and amended 1791.
There that is, ladies and gentlemen, there. Now, hear this part. This is the part here. Republic or democracy, right? I pledge allegiance to the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, for liberty and justice for all. But what does it say here on the democracy side? Oh my goodness. Just go ahead and play it. Let's go ahead and play it, though. Here it is.
Emphasizes democracy, which is the next thing to socialism, which is another form of communism.
Did you say communism? And here's the Communist Manifesto. If I were to click that, we can pull that up, right? But it goes in a little bit more depth. Republic means common rights for a form of government. The left means priest rules. Ain't that something? And they compare it side by side. Let's go into it before I shut this thing down. Just give me one moment. Let that boy cook. Can he cook? Can he cook? Oh my God, let him cook. All right, here we go.
Government of the people and by the people. A republic is a self-governing forum wherein a free, sovereign, moral, and enlightened people guarantee to one another and to all minorities the right and obligation to have, retain, and protect each other's God-given common rights to life, freedom, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness in their separate capacities as free inhabitants and or as free sovereign people within a nation, state, nation-state, and or a country, all by positively accepting the oaths as recipients of the oaths of their servants holding public office.
Have you guys noticed when the Dems on the left always say that we're trying to protect democracy? They never say that we're trying to protect the republic, right? And there's a reason for that, but let's go ahead and get down to it. Now, we're going to explain as to what they mean when they say democracy. Here it is right here. Let's go ahead and start it.
Democracy means priest rule. A democracy cannot exist as a permanent form of government. It can only exist until the voters discover that they can vote themselves generous gifts from the public treasury. From that moment on, the majority always votes for the candidates promising the most benefits from the public treasury, with the result that a democracy always collapses over loose fiscal policy, always followed by a dictatorship. The average age of the world's greatest civilizations from the beginning of history has been about 200 years. During those 200 years, these nations always progressed through the following sequence: from bondage to spiritual faith, from spiritual faith to great courage, from courage to liberty, from liberty to abundance, from abundance to selfishness, from selfishness to complacency, from complacency to apathy, from apathy to dependency, from dependency back again to bondage.
Okay, so that is the difference, ladies and gentlemen. So this is the reason as to why Republican, for the republic, right, to the republic, right, we don't stand with no democracy, right? You already heard what it really truly means. And this is why the criminals want to protect what they have created for themselves. Doesn't mean we're included, obviously. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man. It says here, the people create a Republican form of government with limitations on their servants. The people are not the government. They're not their servants, right? Okay, shall guarantee to every state in this union a Republican form of government. It says constitutional, Article 4, Section 4. All right, and then over here on the right, let's see here. Let's go ahead and read this. Because it's so much here, but we're gonna come back to this though, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna come back on this stuff because this is interesting.
Apathetic and dependent Americans today are unsuspectingly going into bondage unless America wakes up. Jack Slevkov, 2006.
All right, let's go ahead and check this one out here. Let's see here. Often the most tyrannical government on earth, right? And let's see, and let's go ahead and talk about this one. All right, let me see here.
Democracy can be explained as two wolves and a lamb, voting on what to have for dinner, or a political system calculated to make an intelligent minority subject to the will of the stupid. Friedrich Nietzsche, 1844 to 1900.
See, Omega is already on it. You already know, of course. I'm just backing you up, Omega. That's all. I can't remember all this stuff, but I usually keep it on my notes, though. They don't change the URLs around. But there that is there, though, ladies and gentlemen. I almost finished here. And then we're going to come back. We're going to do a part 2, part 3, part 4 to this, though. Here it is.
At the close of the Constitutional Convention in Philadelphia on September 18, 1787, a Mrs. Powell anxiously awaited the results, and as Benjamin Franklin emerged, asked him directly, "Well, doctor, what have we got? A republic or a monarchy?" "A republic if you can keep it," responded Franklin.
Yeah, remember him? That's what he said, though, too, if we can keep it. What about this other thing here? When we always say, let's go on and read this, and we're going to have it read it. This is under democracy. You know what I'm saying? This is what the Dems believe.
A mob rule form of government giving the impression of representation and rule by its citizens. But, today, if you follow the paper trail, it is rule by Crown of England, Crown Templar, Temple, a secret society, and the Vatican, Roman Pope utilizing the mob rule principle. The Crown is the king's corporation, set up to do the king's business and protect the king from liability.
Doesn't that sound about right, ladies and gentlemen? See, they really don't have a leg to stand on, man. You know what I'm saying? I said we're going to start coming with the thunder now, boy. It's about to come down, though. Not doing bad for, you know what I'm saying, for a 75, low IQ of 75. Is that what, what's the name said? All right, but I tell you, man, Let's read what James Madison has to say. You guys know who these most important figures in our history, you know what I'm saying? These are very smart men. They weren't no dummies, right? Look at this.
James Madison, the fourth president, known as the father of our Constitution, made the following statement: "We have staked the whole of all our political institutions upon the capacity of mankind for self-government, upon the capacity of each and all of us to govern ourselves, to control ourselves, to sustain ourselves according to the 10 Commandments of God."
That's exactly what it is. And this is why the Dems on the left hate freedom and liberty and the pursuit of happiness, man, to be governed by ourselves under the commandments of God, man. That's exactly what it is. Let's go ahead a little further here. This is the wicked on the right. Let's go ahead and have it to say to have her to speak.
Those in power behind the scenes dress up their candidates for office, help them get elected, and then control them while in office, supposedly giving you a choice when both major political parties and other parties are controlled by them. Their controlled major media is used to control and direct public opinion. So, you wonder who is really in control. It's definitely not the people.
That is correct. And we have always said this: no one should be a party loyal to anyone. The reason that I rock with Trump right now, because of Trump's policies actually work for the people. It's not about party loyalty. It's about the party and on what we see that works for the people. Obviously, we're seeing that, right? Now, let's talk about a Republican government versus a Democrat government. There's a difference before I go. So let's go ahead and break this down, right? Oops. Let me go ahead and have this here. We'll do this one first. All right.
Republican government is defined as one in which the powers of sovereignty are vested in the people and are exercised by the people, either directly, or through representatives chosen by the people, to whom those powers are specifically delegated. Black's Law Dictionary, 6th edition, pg 695.
Okay, and then let's look at the democracy one here. Let's just play this. So that was under the Republican government, right?
Democracy is defined as that form of government in which the sovereign power resides in and is exercised by the whole body of free citizens directly or indirectly through a system of representatives. Black's Law Dictionary, 6th edition, pg 432.
Okay, so there that is, though. What about this one here? All right.
The rights of the people and the protection of the people of America are its main concern, and maintains that all states shall be guaranteed a republican form of government.
You hear that? So what about this here? This is the one on the left here. Oh, boy.
Expands and conquers by deceit and fraud, and uses words of art to deceive. Convinces Americans to utilize such words and terms as residence, reside an, U.S. citizen, regional, designations fictional, overlay such as CANV, TX, etc. in addresses to expand its venue and control, and to obtain certificates of birth and to sign up for Social Security to gain and maintain jurisdiction.
Yeah, this is getting pretty heavy here, ladies and gentlemen, man. And some of these things like the birth certificate, we start using words like resident and so forth, or reside, or U.S. citizen, and things like that. These words are deceit and fraud. It's used words of art to deceive and convince Americans to utilize such words and terms, right? The people that are masterfully, I should say wicked, right? They set this up a long time ago. I'm talking about the parasitical elite class. And look at what they've been doing, right? Because they've been ruling us. Because they know that average American don't know these terms and words and all this other stuff. We just buy into it. You know what I'm saying? This is why we was born into slavery. Now, I don't mean to go off on a tangent, but I just wanted to share this information with you guys here. It talks about a central government, right? And let's just look at that here as well. But I'm about to shut it down.
The central government is limited in power and ability, and its venue is restricted by the Constitution to the 10-mile square district now called Washington, D.C., and its enclaves for forts and arsenals.
So, as we already pointed out earlier, Washington, D.C. is not even real capital. It's Virginia, but they hijacked and took it over. So, this District of Columbia, you know what I'm saying, has been running the whole thing. It's the central government, right? They control central. This is what Trump is basically doing. He's decentralizing government, breaking it down, right? Bringing it back to the days and the ways of what it was supposed to be under the Constitution. The central government in D.C. is not constitutional at all. It's not under the Constitution, but they have hijacked it, and they have played with words, changed things around to get the average person to accept and to think that democracy is the way to go. Priest rule or mob rule, whichever you want to call it, but that's exactly what it is, right? Boy, I tell you, boy, this stuff is deep, ladies and gentlemen. I hope I ain't lost y'all too much. You know what I'm saying? I hope I ain't lose you guys, man. But this stuff is deep, man. But yeah, I appreciate you guys hanging out here, man. I ain't gonna go all the way into it though, you know. Oh man. But yeah, I appreciate you guys, man. It's been fun. It's been good, man. What's that Mike said? You won't have to even thought I watch this channel all the time. I'd rather leave and come back another day. Save yourself time and button. Bye-bye. I appreciate you, Mike. You're more welcome to come back. I'm about to shut it down anyway. Yeah, this topic is so interesting. Seven people are listening. Yeah, it's definitely interesting though, man. It definitely is, man. We are breaking it down, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to do a part 2 to this. We're talking about the right now. I was talking about the whole history of what a republic is and what democracy or Democrat or democracy, right? That's why they call it U.S. instead of U.S. of A. U.S. is a corporation. USA is of the people, by the people, for the people, man. Boy, I tell you, man. Not by the Democrats. It's like a Proud Boys that are, oh yeah, Mike on that type of stuff. Proud Boys was actually blacks and Latino that started that group, not white supremacists. Nice try, Mike. You know, I think we already covered that before with him, you know. All right. Let me see here. Coconut says, salute. Stay on topic. All right. The Proud Boys, let's see here, don't belong to the Republican Party, and Antifa doesn't. Yeah, the Proud Boys are just a group of guys that have got together, black and white. Shoot, to my knowledge, I never seen an actual black Klansman, let alone Hispanic. The Klansmen have always been white that I know of, you know what I'm saying? Real extremists that was motivated and produced by the left, right? Let me see here. But, you know, that's the thing about it, though, man. Yeah, these people here, man, you know, I've been over here reading while we've been going ahead and playing this, though. Trump is the GOAT, Black Guy 9. You are absolutely correct. They don't have anything for us. We got Man USA. Hold on for a minute, man. I see you were in Dennis. You be following Dennis. And I like Dennis' channel, man. I do. Dennis got a good channel, though, if you guys ain't checked him out. This is what I'm going to do, man. He got a great channel. In fact, let me do this here, man. I forgot all about, I ain't forget about you, but I saw you in the room here. This is what I'm going to do, man. And then shout out to man. Hold on, man. Let me see here. Where are you at here, man? Boy, we got a lot of mods in here tonight. I'm about to shut this down. There he is right here. Man, I'm going to do something for you, though, because I know you a mod over on Dennis's channel, man. I'm going to go ahead and make you a mod here. A mod on Dennis's channel is a mod on my channel. There we go. There we go, right there. Man USA 1, you are officially a mod. There you go, man. There you go, Man USA 1. Congratulations, you are a mod now. So therefore, besides modding on Dennis' channel, you can come over here and mod over here, man, when I go live, man. Yep. So I appreciate you, man. Definitely. So he has, yep. So yeah, I think we did it tonight, Black Guy 9, man. I think we did it, though, Texas Jane. I think we did it. I don't want to overwhelm people too much, man, but I love being on this this website, man, because, you know, I spent a lot of time looking on this stuff and learning stuff, too. You know what I'm saying? Putting stuff in my notes, man, because this is the stuff that they would never tell you about the real America, which is over here on the left, versus what they have done over here on the right. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But, yeah, man, you start learning some things. And really, this website should be taught in our schools. And this is the reason why once we start taking over America, taking it back the way that it's supposed to be, which is a republic, not a democracy, then we could start teaching this real education here. This should be in all schools throughout the United States to know what a democracy is versus a republic. You know, they should be able to know both, and they should be able to understand, just like they should be reciting, you know, the Pledge of Allegiance and everything. I'm glad to see that that stuff is returning as well, too, you know. So, again, these people, the ancient Babylon mystery system and all the rest of this stuff, this is what we've been ruled up under, man. You know what I'm saying? And this is why you get people over here that are blind, deaf, and dumb, especially from the left, that they just they haven't been taught it. They've been brainwashed, and that's what they all know all their life. But this website breaks stuff down, man. I mean, they don't have anything. But here it is, man. It's a beautiful thing, man. Beautiful thing. And I put the link down, so I suggest that you guys, I'm sure y'all saved it, get into this thing because we're gonna do some more on this, man. We're gonna be making like a part 2 on this. I may just try to take it from the top, right? But every time you hear the Democrats say we gotta protect democracy, Trump is a threat to democracy, and they're actually telling the truth on that because we know that mob rules is a form of government giving the impression of representation and rule by its citizens, right? And it's a representation, right? That's basically what it is. It's an impression of representation, and so in other words, we think it's by the citizens, but it's not. It's by the people that are in charge, right? And Trump is trying to eradicate that, right? Remove that, get rid of that. So therefore, when we are under the Constitution, for the people, by the people, right? This is the thing, we the people, for the people, by the people, right? That's what the true republic of the United States of America. We should start hearing that term again. Instead of U.S., we should be calling it the United States of America, right? To the republic for which it stands, one nation, right? One nation, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all, right? And that's exactly what it is, right? We're not under a rule by Crown of England or Crown of Templar and all the rest of this nonsense, right? It's us. We are its sovereignty people. We don't use terms like U.S. citizen, residents, and all the rest of this stuff. It's us. We are the people. Us as a person. Us, the real people, right? And that's what it is. It's a beautiful thing. But yeah, though, so let me see here. We talked about that, left it off here, and I think that's mainly it. All right, guys. So I'm gonna get up on out of here, man. We're gonna pick back up tomorrow. I think I got it left off here. But yeah, we're gonna pick up with the rest of this stuff. Is very interesting. It's very, very I love it. I love this stuff, man. I know some of you guys though, but we're gonna be getting into it. Man, there you go, man. I appreciate you, man, for coming on. Coconut are real, Black Guy 9, Texas Jane. We got Denise the farmer. Oh my goodness, we got a lot of people in his house for real. Brian Reedy, my member. We also have Jason Beatrice, a member as well. Give a shout out to all of you. Thank you guys. Thank you all for showing up, man, and showing out, man. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, yeah, we're gonna get back and get into this some more. And Saul and what's the other dude? Oh yeah, Levitation. He's been in here before. Maybe you guys can come back tomorrow and stick around. You may learn something. You know what I'm saying? You just may learn something about your party, let alone some other things, though. But I see the Trump derangement syndrome run strong in you. I sense a lot of fear. I sense a lot of fear coming from you. For that, you are not a Jedi. Jedi, you not. Yeah, so that's what the words of Yoda said coming through me, man. Yeah, great night, all. You got that right. Texas Jane says, have a great night, Tony and the Patriots. You do the same, though, too. Great night, though, Texas Jane. Yeah, handling my lightweight, man, USA. Yeah, you guys has been doing great, Captain Howdy and things. He's just come back in the room. They know they love my stuff, man. They love my content, man. Ain't nobody hotter than me. I'm the baddest. I'm the hottest. I control better than them, though. And I've been light on them today because we've been covering out just some real information, though, too. But this website here, I'm gonna do this, though, too. I'm going to post a link back up here again. And I just want... And this is how we win people over, ladies and gentlemen, other than me trolling before I go. There's a website here for you. And I want Captain Howdy. I want the other dude, too. All right. Let me see here. You have all branches of government still can't get shit done. Let me see here. You know what? Let me see here. BB Zellar, I put that link down. I want you to go and wait a moment. Let me do this here. I put it in the wrong. Hold on for a minute. Give me 1 minute. Damn, I put it in the wrong one. Let me put it over here. This way, this is more of an active link. There we go. Yeah, I want you to go. I want you guys to. I want them. I actually put the link out now. There we go. Let me see here. I put that link down. Didn't I put that link down? Yep, I put the link down. There it is, right there. Yep. That's the link before I go. So therefore, BB Zellar, I want you to go ahead and I double dare you, sir, to click that link and read through it. It's very, 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 I dare you to do it. Also, Mike, I want you too to click that link. If you like reading, Mike, I dare you to read that and then come back here tomorrow, right? Mm-hmm. Yep, that's okay though. Levitation, Pigeon, I dare you as well to come and click that link that I just put down there on there. I know Levitation ain't gonna put it down, but Mike, if you are any type of a reader, and if you're a real man, you would click that link. I'm calling you out to read that link. Click that link and read through there and check it out for yourself. You ain't got to take my word for it. And do your own investigation. Read and look it up and see what it really says, right? And Saul, you too. I dare you. I double dare you. Saul, Roscoe, go ahead and pull up that link that I just dropped down in there. That's what you should do, right? And then come back here tomorrow. Space Knocker Z76. I dare you to do the same. Mm-hmm. We say Trump is not big government. Not big government. AF as fuck. Well, anyway, just go and read it anyway. Just go and read it anyway. Trump is the GOAT. All right, guys, I am out. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate the likes and stuff. What's her name at? You know what I'm saying? Where's she at, man? Oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh, that's the wrong one.
Please like, comment, and subscribe, please.
Yeah, do what the lady says. I thank you guys, and I'll see y'all tomorrow, man. Peace and chicken grease. Your boy is out. All right, let me go ahead on and where's my thing? Oh, there it is. I'm about to say, you know, I get upset when I can't find my American. Yeah, there we go. We're talking about the Star Spangled Banner. All right, guys, this is where I sign off. I'll see you guys tomorrow, man. Peace and chicken grease. I dare my detractors in this room to click that link that I just showed y'all earlier. Click that link. You know what I'm saying? Right? If you got smoke, click the link. We're going to talk about it tomorrow, right? We're going to go down through there. I appreciate you as well, Omega. Man, the legendary Omega, man. I got to get him back up here, too. And any of you guys that want to come up, though. You know what I'm saying? All right. I am out. Boy, I tell y'all. All right, guys, let's go ahead on and kick it off and end with the Star Spangled Banner. Copyright free. There we go.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight